So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Game day tomorrow. I wonder if a lot of the starters will even get their ankles taped.
No. I'm sure we'll see a lot of guys in street clothes, just kind of hanging out on the sideline.
On shorts.
Yeah, I mean, I think we already saw what Trey Lance is going to be the starter for. Has already been announced the starter for the Chargers. I think they've said DJU is going to play the second half.
DJ Ugalele playing the second half.
I mean, it's a game, all right, but it's not much of the starters going to be out there tomorrow night.
Now, with an abundance of precaution always around anything weather-related, especially now, if it's one bolt of lightning near Canton, they stop that game. That game's been stopped a lot through the years because of weather.
Oh, no, it has. And, I mean, it's one of those things.
It wasn't started once because of bad turf.
Well, that is also true. But, yeah, I mean, especially with a game like that, I mean, why even bothering? Hate to say it, but we do have a chance of rain tomorrow in Canton. So I don't know. It says light rain, so it probably won't be that much of an
round
issue.
of thunder, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, it looks like this is just calling for rain, and it's pretty much like midday. So we should be good for tomorrow night. But I guess we'll keep the weather app open and keep an eye on Canton.
Did you have any odds on the first real scheduling breaking news out of the WNBA would be the Grizzlies and games in Berlin and London?
No, I didn't have that. Kind of ruined my morning when I woke up and saw that news. But hey, the Grizzlies are going to go Europe.
It will be historic. It will be fun for the official traveling party for the Grizzlies. I know they'll be excited about it. I don't know what time of day those games would be. I would imagine they would be like about right now, wouldn't you, with the time difference?
Yeah, it'd probably be, maybe, it'd probably be in the middle of the game right now. I'd probably say like a 1 or 2 o'clock start time, if I had to guess. I know, just thinking of kind of like what I usually see, like the Premier League over there, they usually start kind of their night primetime games at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So
please, Brian, if you refer to the Premier League, please go heavy emphasis like they do on Premier.
Yes. Excuse me. I'm still very young in my knowledge of being a Premier League.
But that's going to be a real tough travel time for them. So dates for games play Thursday, January the 15th in Berlin.
Yep.
You would have to leave 2 or 3 days before that, wouldn't you?
I would think so. Yeah.
Sunday afternoon, the 11th.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Monday morning, the 12th. I'd say Sunday, the 11th.
Yeah, probably.
And really get there and have a day or two to catch up time and all that good stuff with where you are. Then travel to London, which won't be that difficult, and play again on Sunday, the 18th. And then I would say push it all the way home, London to Memphis on Monday, the 19th. That's 8 days in the middle of January.
Yeah.
And that's about the first eye on get me to All-Star break time.
It sure is. And so, I just looked up time. So Berlin is 7 hours ahead of us. So it's 10:04 p.m. right now.
Oh, yeah, we've started earlier.
So, you're talking about probably
1
noon.
Central.
Yeah, 1,
noon,
something like that.
1.
And then London is 6 hours. So probably around the same time, 1 or 2 o'clock start. In London, being a Sunday, they might, they can obviously change it a little bit, maybe an afternoon game, their time, and be kind of more of a like 11 o'clock start here. So I mean, it's going to be, it's certainly going to be different. But we know the NBA has, gone international. We know the NBA partnering and trying to start or get something going in Europe with a league that is partnered with the NBA. So this feels like a big step going to Berlin and London to really get that going and have that NBA presence in Europe.
And I don't know that my dates are exact with the departure. I know the playing dates are exact as announced earlier. But let's say I am right. So you're talking 11th through the 19th. And I think the NBA should, and they will, but for both teams, for Orlando and for Memphis, at 2 or 3 games before and 1 or 2 after, let those be at home.
Yeah, I would hope so at least. Give them some time. And,
a little softer spot of the schedule
don't
as
have
you're
them traveling
leaving
everywhere before they head out for the big travel. So.
Yeah, don't have the Grizzlies getting home on a Tuesday from a game or rather on a Friday for a game in Portland, then get on a plane on Sunday bound for Berlin.
Yeah, no, that would be miserable.
That's approaching halfway around the world.
Yeah, that would be miserable. So hopefully, I would think, and I think the NBA, obviously, making these guys go halfway across the world to play basketball, you would think that they would, let them have a couple home games before, maybe a couple home games after. But we'll see when everything drops and we're talking our Rob Fisher schedule reveal.
That's when you know it's official.
That's exactly that's the moment it's official. But
Rob's
we'll kind of
magic
see
that day.
Yeah. Oh no, it's unbelievable what he's able to do with that schedule.
Last year we got the schedule during the golf tournament. The golf tournament was a week later. Remember last year because of the Olympics. I'm still thinking schedule is about 2 weeks from tomorrow or Friday or so. Around the 14th or 15th. That's just a guess. That's where it's been the last couple of years, but I don't think it'll be next week. But I think we'll get a little more of this, and the tease next week, or maybe some Christmas Day announcements, maybe the Emirates, a little more firm on Emirates Cup and things like that. And we will enjoy that. That'll be fun. Afternoon basketball, Grizzlies talk and action those days. But this for me, and I've already heard it a lot, and I know it's always said in the name of growing the game. And you know what I feel about that statement. I'm for that. I know they have to do that. I know the Grizzlies are a member of the NBA, so that goes with being a part of the league. But how exactly does it redound to longtime Grizzlies season ticket holder that now is minus a game for their enjoyment pleasure during the course of the year? And how does that, how do they ever get anything? Yeah. So they go global. They make all this international money, international TV, and I'm sure the NBA makes a, big donation to Doctors Without Borders. But what does that get ticket buyer in Memphis?
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part about it. It doesn't get you anything. You lose a game. And with this, I've seen some people point it out today, is that probably means Orlando won't come to Memphis this year, and so you won't get that Desmond Bane return game that I know a lot of people
I ain't caught that.
have been looking forward to since he was traded. So you don't get much of anything in return, and it's kind of the worst part of having these international games for those fans. That it's a lot different. We've always kind of talked about these international games, whether it's obviously huge in the NFL. We're starting to see it more in baseball. We've seen it in the NBA, but we haven't seen it here with the Grizzlies. And so it feels like it's very different, kind of talking about it when it's the Eagles and the Packers starting the season.
Yeah, when it's over there.
In Brazil, it's a lot different to talk about then. And now when it's your team, the team in your city, it's different talking about it for sure.
And it knocks out the MLK Day game.
That's the big one. That's the big one, and that's the one.
Second time.
Yeah, which is
I mean, are you a tradition if you miss a time or two?
As someone who doesn't like to keep traditions very well, I'll say I'll give them the benefit of the doubt anytime a tradition's missed a year or two. But it's when you start, the prolonged missing is when that starts not becoming a tradition, at least in my book. I know other people that are very strict about their traditions. You miss it 1 year, they call it all off. It's no longer a tradition. But it does, I hate that, they're going to miss out on MLK game this year, and I hope
and the league just plumb forgot about it a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. No, it was
just a huge miss.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. But, it's hard to believe that here we are again with no MLK Day game. And hopefully this isn't the start of something, and hopefully next year we'll have it on the schedule again.
These games couldn't have been played a week later?
I mean, that's the thing, is you would think that you can play these games at any point in the season. And
is Uber Arena booked? And
No, I wouldn't think so.
I wonder if it's for the company or if it's to the literal German word of Uber for max, a lot, big.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with.
Let's find out more about
with
Uber
everything
Arena.
over there. Yeah, I just let them keep that.
This year, did I miss or did baseball do the London game this year?
No, I don't think they did the London game this year.
What happened to growing the game?
Yeah, it's a great question. I
know they're doing the Motor Speedway game. Have you seen the tickets sold for?
I have not.
And that makes a lot more sense than Major League Baseball playing in London.
I agree. Yeah.
Accommodate those people that are baseball starved and want to go to games.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think
that are good Brave fans, good Reds fans in that country, good Delmarva fans with Orioles and Nationals fans in that area.
Yeah, no, I love what it looks like. The field looks awesome. The jerseys look really cool.
Stadium setup looks great, doesn't it?
It's really cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I just looked it up. So the agreement between Major League Baseball and Greater London was renewed for games in 2023, 2024, and 2026. So we just skipped 2025. I don't know what.
We're not going to grow the game.
I don't know why we decided to skip 2025. So I guess there'll be a London series next year, but not this year. So
I like the Speedway game.
No,
it's
going
to be fun to watch.
It looks like it's going to be really fun. It looks really cool. Speaking of the Speedway game, Braves in a really good one right now with Kansas City 0-0 in the top of the 8th inning. So that one's going to come down to the end. But yeah, that will be really fun to watch. What is that, Friday night? So just a couple days until we get the Speedway
85,000 expected.
I believe it. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Some people are going to be a long way from the action.
Well, and that's the problem. But I think there's a lot of people just saying
buyer
they're
beware
there.
when you buy that ticket.
Yeah.
You know you're not sitting ringside.
You know what you're. I mean, heck, I was looking yesterday. The Rangers announced that I don't remember the date anymore, but it's like a Saturday in August. I think they are. I don't know, honoring. I don't know exactly what they're doing for Josh Hamilton. I immediately went to look to see how much tickets were, and I did not go to the, best of, whatever, the closest or anything. I just wanted to get in, so I was just looking at, get-in tickets. I don't care where I sat if I decided to go to that. I just would want to be there. So I think a lot of people are probably the same way, let's just go to this Speedway, and who cares?
So you went just to get in. Might be a long way from that.
Yeah.
Let me guess the ticket price.
Please. It's probably
$80.
It's probably going up. I saw the tweet 3 minutes after it was posted, and so I was probably one of the first people to go and look at ticket prices. And just to get in was only $15. I mean,
is that right?
Just to get in was very cheap. Some of the higher up tickets were very, very inexpensive.
So you wanted to go relive that shot he hit in Game 6 that sent me to the pavement at Busch Stadium.
I love Josh Hamilton. He's my all-time favorite baseball
player.
player.
He cranked one.
Oh man, he was incredible.
That was after the first comeback.
That's right.
Then the next comeback.
Yeah, no. So I'm debating if I should make
the
trip
else
down to
hit
Dallas.
tape measure shot in that World Series. Mike Napoli hit one that's still going.
Yeah, no, you are.
It got picked up on air traffic control radar.
Hey, you gotta love a homer that is hit that hard and that far.
Speaking of ticket prices, Yankees are in St. Louis against the Cardinals the 15th, 16th, and 17th of August. Today at the Cardinal website, the official Cardinal website, $20 tickets
for
the Yankees.
I saw
after last night. That's why.
Well, yeah. And luckily, I didn't get to watch that game, so you'll have to tell me all about it, Brett. I was in the basketball game, so I thankfully missed that one. But,
it was as light as I've ever seen it.
It was
even like when you have to make up that Thursday, that game that's rained out in April, and you make it up in September on Thursday afternoon, and you just take whatever smaller crowd than those types.
Jeez. Well, I saw
announced as 20. It could not have been max 9 or 10.
Yikes. Wow, that is sad. I saw, and I don't remember what series it was for, but someone posted somewhere. I don't remember where I saw this, that you could go and buy St. Louis Cardinal tickets for $15 for a ticket, and with the ticket, you got $20 of they called it Cardinal cash or something like that. I guess that you could use in the team shop or whatever. So basically, you would be paid $5 to go to the Cardinals game with that 15 and then 20 back. So it's getting brutal for the Cardinals.
And I'm not implying that I have any of these answers or suggestions. I'm not. So let me be clear with that. I'm just asking, kind of rhetorically, in the very big broad. What if it's something bigger than just product on the field? Because product on the field's a 500 team. Yeah. We're not talking about the Rockies here. We're not talking about a team that's going to finish 30 under 500 and 25 back.
So what could it be? Do you have any idea.
I don't.
Okay.
But I'm asking,
Sure.
what if it is?
I mean, it certainly could be.
The
I
first
think it probably is.
The first thing that I am really scared of is a lot of us, old people, have cycled out.
Well, yeah. That could certainly be.
And had the 25-year, at least 25-year run of mostly to always being good, birthdays and going and cost of going and having done it and having been to the mountaintop twice at New Busch Stadium with World Series winning teams and other World Series and other big moments, and just got there and I've done it. I'll do the rest of it at home. And I'm wrestling with that in a lot of things around sports. I am. And what if in mass in that area, especially the weeknight crowd? I've made the trip down to the ballpark enough.
Yeah, I think that's probably a really good point, and I think it probably is something, because you're right. I mean, if it's supposed to be the best fans in baseball, Brett, this is not the Colorado Rockies that we're talking about. This isn't a team that's going to win 30 games a season. It's a team that's playing 500 baseball right now, and you would think that you would have better crowds at least than what you're seeing out there. So I don't know what it is, but I do think it probably goes deeper than the product on the field.
And there's a lot of businesses wondering, will the next generation replace this one that's been very loyal to things?
Oh, yeah. And I can go out on a limb, someone that's in this new generation, I'll say probably not. I will.
Well, I don't think it's incumbent on your age group. I think it's more on the kind of the 38 to 50 crowd.
But still,
is kind of the next one that's got to fill it.
But you think of everything
you still got
sure
earning years.
Sure, but I'm just looking at it of people that I know that are older than me, that are my age. Of look at everything. I mean, we've got televisions now that are you feel like you got the best seat in the house. We've gotten kind of comfortable with these kind of.
But no, we've had
age
TV
groups.
now.
Well, but we haven't had it what it is now, Brad.
That's true. And I know a lot of people are going to say about the heat last night. Look, it's hot every summer in St. Louis. You have a week or two a year that it's just brutal. I sat there one night at Old Busch Stadium. Thank goodness for Woody Williams pitching a 1-0 Jim in about $1.50, or everybody would have died at night from heat stroke. It was so hot.
I believe it. That heat's a real thing. But at the same time, I think a lot of people have just gotten a little comfortable of not going, and it's a lot easier to catch the game and keep up with everything by not being there. And I think it's almost more of a hassle to go to a game than it is to take it in any other way. So,
but I do think the biggest thing, there are a lot of people voting with their rear end at the management of the team the last few years.
Yeah, and it's going to be a big question over these next really 24 hours of what happens with this team and if they make any moves at the trade deadline. We'll talk more about that later in the show, but we've got a busy show, so let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Mike Detillier from WWL in New Orleans. He'll join us. We'll talk the Saints and the NFL with him. Plenty to get to with the Saints team. There's a quarterback competition, a lot of new pieces in there from the coaching staff to the players on the field. So plenty to get to.
Opening day against the Arizona Cardinals. One of those two teams will be 1-0.
Yeah.
Well, we think will be. They could tie.
They could tie. It's always a possibility, Brett.
But you go back, except for the great Saint years, and they did have great Sean Payton years, and the Cardinals historically, neither one of them are often 1-0.
No, certainly not. And so we'll see. One of them will likely be 1-0 after that game. We'll see which one of them it will be. I wonder if do we have game lines out for that game? I'd love to see. I don't think we do.
Do we?
I'd love to see what that. Yes, we do. Arizona -5.5 against the Saints.
That's in New Orleans, isn't it?
It's in New Orleans.
Well, give me the Saints plus the 5.5.
Save it for. I know that's going to be one of the marquee games on Friday Football Forecast. So I know.
You think it is?
I know it is. I mean, that type of game, it's got to be marquee. But we'll talk Saints in our next segment.
Might be my NFL shock right there.
Well, it certainly could be.
Home dog.
Got to keep that in your back pocket. But 3:45, we'll talk some baseball. A lot to get to. Trade deadline tomorrow, but also a lot of games last night and this afternoon that we got to talk about. 4 o'clock, John Gowen from Timber Trust. He'll join us. We'll talk some golf. We'll also make our weekly picks. Last tournament before the PGA comes to Memphis. So a lot to get to with John at 4 o'clock. 4:30, we'll talk the NFL. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Brett Ciancia will join us from Pick 6 Preview, his magazine, the best in the game. If you want to be up to date on the upcoming college football season, you got to go get you a copy of the Pick 6 Preview. We'll have Brett on. We'll talk about the upcoming season. We'll talk about everything you can get with his magazine. We'll do that at 5 o'clock. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together, and Family Leisure needs your help to clear out the warehouse. All in-stock patio furniture up to 60% off, and 4-piece deep seating sets only $999. Chase Lounges, buy one, get one half off, and right now, all Polywood furniture 20 to 30% off. Head out there and get that outdoor dining table and get a free umbrella with purchase. Special financing, it's available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime, and we're with you until 6 o'clock, and we want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line at 901-360-8255. All our guests will appear on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. Always from our Family Leisure Studios, in this hour brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis. They're at 2600 Ridgeway. They're online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Driving luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Call them at 901-334-9673, but they invite you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it's the news we got earlier this morning that the Grizzlies will meet the Orlando Magic over in Europe for 2 games in January. It'll start in Berlin on January 15th, and then the 2 teams will meet again in London on January 18th. We've seen the NBA do this, especially in recent years in the regular season, sending teams overseas in different countries. A lot of it's to start the season out. We have seen a lot really going back further of preseason games in other countries, but now we're starting to see it more in the regular season, but we haven't really seen it with the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll see it this year with the team, like I said, playing 2 games in Europe. We know it's been a thing, but we know, especially for Adam Silver to get these NBA games, these regular season games in Europe is big because he is trying and I think has done everything he needs to do to get a league started that is partnered with the NBA in Europe. So obviously getting a deal that has, yearly games in Europe with these NBA teams is going to be big, like Brett has said, to grow the game, especially when they get this league started. It's going to be a lot of those European teams that play in this league that all of these fans love, but obviously with the backing of the NBA now partnering with this league or starting their own league, it is going to be bigger in Europe. And so the Grizzlies, they'll go over there this year. It's fun. Like Brett said, we'll have a Thursday afternoon game that we'll be able to talk all about while we're doing a live show. But the downfall of it is it means no MLK game this season. Only the second time that the Grizzlies have not had the game, and it really stings to not have it. But hopefully we get it again next year.
And that's National Championship College Football Playoff game night, too, January 19th, where the MLK Day game would have been. That's Bryant's top story. I'm Brett. I'm Brett. I'm going to give my top story.
Yeah.
It's all produced by Landon
That's
Schmidt.
right.
I failed to introduce us. I'm
you're
sorry.
Okay. You're okay. It happens.
You not offended? You didn't take offense,
Believe
did you,
me,
Landon?
Brett.
No, I'm all good.
I'm not offended either.
Not going to report me to the union? We don't have a union.
I don't know.
No, there's no reports.
It'd be wild trying to find the union.
My top story, approaching trade deadline in Major League Baseball, and Steven Matz pulled mid-inning last night, everyone thinking that he had been dealt. Now some wondering if he had been injured. Ollie Marmol said none of that happened, just a mix-up. How do you let that happen? Every lineup, every move, especially with pitching, really being scrutinized right now. And there's some pitchers that aren't pitching because teams don't want them injured. Anything may be happening to them. It's the reason why. When's the last time you saw Joe Romero pitch for the Cardinals? I can tell you, last Friday night. I think that means he's gone.
Might be. Well, JoJo
Everybody
Romero.
going for bullpen help.
Yeah, no, you're right about that, and that could be a good one. I remember when we got old JoJo Romero. Oh man, that was the trade with the Phillies. And we
It was a good deal.
It was well, and
He's
it was
been good.
He's been really good, but we were kind of like when that trade happened, we were like, who's JoJo Romero?
I crushed it.
Oh, you did. But hey, it's been good. It's worked out. He's been a
Yeah.
good Cardinal. So we'll see if he is moved at this deadline.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it was Brett's top story of the day. The trade deadline is tomorrow, and it feels like we're going to see a lot of moves. Brian Hayes being traded from the Pirates to the Reds earlier this afternoon was a little surprising, and we'll see if a lot of those big names that we've talked about, if they end up getting moved. But Brett talked about what the Cardinals could do. Katie Wu, who covers the Cardinals for The Athletic, she wrote earlier today.
And regular guest with Greg and Eli.
That's exactly right. She does a fantastic job. I love reading her work. Love listening to her when she's on in the mornings with the guys. She wrote earlier today that the Cardinals are getting calls on Ryan Helsley, Phil Maton, and Steven Matt. So obviously some pitchers in there. Brett talked about JoJo Romero. Throw in JoJo Romero. It feels like the pitchers could be the hot commodity from the Grizzlies. Yeah, Joe Romero. Hey, it's okay. Joe. It's all the same. But it feels like we're going to see a lot of action, really, probably starting about now, this evening, going into tomorrow. And we'll see what moves. But it feels like Cardinals need to make some moves. We'll see if they actually do that.
So that's what we're going to do today. Your top's going to be my top's going to be your not.
That's exactly right.
And your top is going to be my not.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that today. Grizzlies taking it overseas in the league, and the Grizzlies just saying, oh, well, to MLK Day for another year and the festivities that go with it. That's twice now.
Yeah.
Is it tradition if you don't do it traditionally, if you don't have it regularly? I can't imagine another miss of that as the years go on. And season ticket holders, vendors, they lose a home game. So what exactly does growing the game get people that are here and have been season ticket holders and are vendors and all that stuff? Look, I know everybody collectively about the Grizzlies are mostly favorable. I'm favorable. I want the Grizzlies to do fabulously. I do. But I don't get this growing the game stuff. I don't see the benefit on the ground here for people.
Yeah. I mean, there really isn't, you know?
I think growing the game is psychobabble.
Yeah, I think it is, and it's Brett, it's what we always talk about. It's getting people in London and Berlin to go to the team shops and buy the jerseys and buy the packages so they can watch all the games in the United States. I mean, that's what it all is. It all comes down. Everything always comes down to one thing, Brett. It's the money,
yep.
And that's what this comes down to.
Yep.
And the growing the game. That's what it all comes down to. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break. And when we return, we're heading down to New Orleans to talk the Saints. Mike Detillier with WWL down in New Orleans. He joins us next on Sports Time.
It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
All 650 acquisition fee, 20 cents per mile excess mileage must finance through KFA, K4 is SEO 39747, MSRP 25840, Telluride SG 673 3650, MSRP 41155, K5 MSRP 30415, EV9 TG 0066993, MSRP 59775, includes all rebates and incentives, excludes TTNL with approved credit, dealer stock only, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 8225.
Got my man Jeff Allen on the line. Hey Jeff, things heating up over there on Mount Moriah?
We got the hottest deals in town at Gossett Kia South, Mount Moriah, Randy. Listen to this. Get a new ride for $185 per month in a 2025 Kia K4 EX 39 MPG Highway. 2025 Kia K5 GT line, $288 a month.
And the vacation-ready 2025 Kia Telluride S front-wheel drive, $325 a month.
Yep, all $49.99 due at signing, 24 monthly.
And rates at 1.9 available, plus 2026 EV9 Lite rear-wheel drive, $419 a month. Plus the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
That's right, Randy. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Newsflash, Family Leisure needs your help. Family Leisure has a warehouse full of inventory, and they need it cleaned out. Do your part to make room for new items, and you get great deals on almost everything. Listen up. All in-stock patio furniture, it's up to 80% off. You can get a 4-piece deep seating set for under $1,000. Chaise lounges. You buy one and you're going to need another, and that other one will be one half off. All Pollywood furniture, it's now 20 to 30% off. You buy any dining table, you're going to get an umbrella absolutely free, and they're not cheap. Now, is financing available? You better believe it. Special financing is a go. To sum it all up, Family Leisure has got to clear out its warehouse inventory, which means you're going to rack up the savings. Help Family Leisure clear out the warehouse. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together to clean out the warehouse.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's a little bit slow from a wreck we had earlier on 240 East up by Sam Cooper, where a car slammed into the wall pretty good over here. It did a lot of damage to the front of the car. That's 240 eastbound between Walnut Grove and Sam Cooper as it gets busier through Midtown on 240 South here at South Parkway. Want a greener, more wheat-free lawn? Then call Lawn Solutions here in Memphis. That telephone number, it's easy. It's 867-5626. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk the New Orleans Saints. Mike Detillier joins us now from WWI in New Orleans. We got to talk the Saints. We got to talk the NFL. But with the Saints, Mike, first off, thanks so much for joining us. But with the Saints, we know the big story is this quarterback competition. What have you seen since the start of camp, and what do you make of these three quarterbacks that are battling it out right now?
Well, I know it's always heralded as the three quarterback race, but really it's going to be between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. Mm-hmm. And Spencer shows the experience of being in an NFL camp before. With Shough, I think you see that he's a guy that, it's just being really the first week and getting accustomed to the NFL and trusting your arm. And that a lot of times, you see it and you want to throw it, and man, it's tight. Well, it's always going to be tight in the NFL. Yep. It's rarely one of these high school open throws. So, so far, Rattler has gotten the advantage over Shough. And it wouldn't surprise me the Saints start the season with Spencer Rattler, but they didn't spend a second-round pick and the 40th overall pick on a guy to watch. That Shough is going to get his opportunity, and I think real soon.
Mike, I love that story back maybe during his rookie year. Peyton Manning told his dad, he said, nobody's ever open. He said, they're not going to be. That window's going to be really small. And I bet Kellen Moore is telling his young quarterbacks the same thing. I mean, a little bit late's real late, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit late is real late. And so you got to trust yourself with that throw. And it was interesting, Jaden Daniels in the offseason, in an interview, he made that comment that, one thing that he understood was that, being open in college is one thing. Being open in the pros is another. And you got to trust yourself in making those type throws. So I think Tyler's going through that. He's a mature young man. He gets it. He's a big, tall drink of water, and he can rifle it downfield. But you can see, in 7-on-7, man, you shouldn't be running around with the ball. Get the ball out quick.
Yeah,
because that's what the NFL is all about. And but sometimes he will walk himself right into pressure, and we saw that last year with Caleb Williams. He got away with that at USC. He was able to because of his athletic skills. In the NFL, man, they track you down. Now, the one thing with Jaden, man, he's scared of bejesus out of you, because if he takes off running, Jack, you ain't catching him. That's all I can tell you. Man, Jaden can run. And we saw the development of Drake May last year with the Patriots. He didn't start the season. I think it was game 6 or 7 of the season they put him in, and he was hesitant with throws. And then, man, those last 3 or 4 games, you saw it all kind of came together for Drake May. Throwing the football, he was much more decisive. He was getting the ball out quicker, and he nipped off almost a full second from throwing the football in the pocket. Now you say, well, man, 1 second, that's not much. Man, in the NFL, you don't get a lot of time to throw it when they don't have pressure on you. So you got to get rid of the football and knowing where to go with the football. So on a young team that is rebuilding, you can see this team is going through the growing pains of trying to develop 2 young quarterbacks, not 1.
Mike Detillier, our guest on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. He's in New Orleans at WWL. We're talking the Saints with him, and Kellen Moore's probably a new starting quarterback, but there's some great offensive minds with Doug Nussmeier as the offensive coordinator, Scott Tolzien as the quarterback's coach. Are the fans going to be patient in this year 1 of a lot of changes for the Saints?
Man, they can't spell it, much less be it. They don't want nothing to do with patience. They want to win now. But I think there's a reality check that this roster is going through some major overhaul, and that, at best, this team's a 5-6 win team in the NFL in 2025. So they don't have a lot of it, but I do think they do know that there is reality to this. But you want to see improvement. And I think that's the one thing that I think all of us want to see from this football team, because they've spent a lot of money, a lot of early round investment on offensive line play. You have a first-round pick tackle in Taliase Fuago on the right side, a first-round pick left tackle in Kelvin Banks Jr. on the left. Trevor Penning was a former first-round pick tackle. They kicked him inside to guard. Cesar Ruiz is another former first-round pick, and Eric McCoy is a second-round pick in which they had to give up extra to get him. So that's the unit that I think everybody's watching to see how quickly that gels. And I'm a big believer in this, and I tell this to LSU fans too, because I think it'll happen there. LSU loses 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen to the NFL. That offensive line play, college pro football, is the last thing to come to place. I think it's the last piece of the puzzle, because it's 5 guys working as one. It's like a dance group. If you out of line, you see exactly the mess up with it. And for the Saints, how quickly all that can come together. They got to get a running game going to protect their young quarterback.
Yeah. On the other side of the ball, we know Brandon Staley comes in as defensive coordinator. What do you expect from the defense this year?
A little bit different look. This team has been a 4-3 defense for years. Always been that way under Sean Payton and Dennis Allen. And now they're going to a little bit different look. To be honest with you, a lot of 5-2-1 look. And, so that's going to be a little bit different. The secondary certainly different with no Tyrann Mathieu. And they bring in the veteran Julian Blackman. Now, if he can stay healthy, I think he's a good football player with the Colts. But, man, he got to stay healthy. And he's coming off a torn labrum. Cornerback at one time was a real strength of this team. Now it's a lot of I don't knows. Alontae Taylor's the guy. I mean, I think the world of Alontae. I think he's a hell of a player. We want to see the growth in Kool-Aid McKinstry at corner. And they're really happy with what they've seen so far in Quincy Riley, the rookie from University of Louisville, who has come in here, made a couple big plays in the practice session. So, but they have some age now. Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis. There's a reason why Father Time is undefeated and untied. And they finally get out. And so it'll be interesting how Chase Young, Carl Granderson can team up here to give them a pass rush off the edge that they've lacked the last couple of years and playing a little bit more 3-4 defense. But if they don't shore up run defense, they're in trouble. This team gave up 4.9 yards a rush last year. Now, if you're giving up almost 5 yards a run, man, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out what you're going to do against them. I just keep running the ball at them. And, hey, I'll just kind of bang away at you and then wear you down. So it'll be interesting to see with Brandon Staley, but everything has been done in the offseason to try to shore up that front seven and bringing in a veteran like Davin Godshaw, former LSU guy who was with the Patriots, to help in the middle, and also the development of Brian Brisset, who was former first-round pick a couple years ago from Clemson.
Mike, you say Father Time. He always wins. He did with Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, the famed Honey Badger, one of the most popular players ever in South Louisiana for a lot of reasons, Saints, LSU, and we know those. We discussed it with his announcement last week about retiring. We think he is in the Hall of Fame in Canton someday. It may not be first time he's up, but we think he's a Hall of Famer. Do you, and do you think he will get in?
I agree with you. I think he gets in somewhere down the line.
Uh-huh.
But, I've always told him this, and we've met, you on Mount Rushmore from me, Tyrann. I've covered LSU for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time frame, Tyrann's on Mount Rushmore. Now, they do have two Heisman Trophy winners there in Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels, but Tyrann's on there too. Man, Tyrann was unbelievable as a freshman, sophomore player. And, he had a lot of things going on.
All right, who's your fourth? You got me interested. So you got the two Heisman winners, Cannon and Burrow. You got Honey Badger. Is Jacob Hester your fourth?
Jacob didn't win the Heisman. I didn't get to see him play as an LSU player. So if I was listing, like, Mount Rushmore of all time at LSU, Billy Cannon certainly would be on there.
Sure.
But I only watched Billy as a kid when he was playing in the AFL. He was a tight end.
Yeah,
we
with
did
Oilers.
shows with Billy. Man, Billy, God bless him, man, Billy was a storyteller like you had never heard before. Now, you didn't know if all of it was true, but if most of it was, man, he had some stories. And so you can debate that fourth one, if it's Glenn Dorsey, if it's Lynn Fournette, Kevin Falk. Man, it was just, they had such a great group. And then
Tommy Casanova.
Casanova. And I watched him as a kid, and he just turned 75 years old yesterday.
Heck, Burt Jones. We're leaving out Burt Jones, Mike.
Burt, but Burt was a better pro player than he was a college player,
right.
Only because Coach Mack, he wanted to run the option. And Burt was, man, what? And they let Burt do his thing as a senior there, and Burt threw the football really well. But, man, you think about all those great players at LSU, but and you think about the two best receivers in the NFL today, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Hall of Fame, I mentioned with Tyrann Mathieu, Drew Brees, he's up for the 2026 Hall of Fame. How much talk around New Orleans is there of Drew Brees potentially making the Hall of Fame this year?
If he don't make it, they shouldn't have a hall.
They need to shut. They sure do.
They need to shut it down. Drew was the most impactful player to ever put on the black and gold. And then there's no even debate about that. Ricky was a great player, Ricky Jackson and Martin Anderson and Sam Mills, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But what Drew Brees did, man, he was something special and the greatest competitor you could imagine. He didn't certainly look the part, but it was his drive and his determination. And we watched practice today, me and Hebert, and we just laughed. You know, the ball hits the ground, you know, in the session, sometimes 6-7 times. And if Drew had a session where he threw 20 footballs, the ball hit the ground maybe once. And that's because the receiver dropped it. And he would get so upset if he threw an interception. Man, he ripped that helmet off and jammed it up in the turf. He was so upset with himself. But he was such a perfectionist about everything. So, he's the first-year Hall of Famer. And again, what he did for this franchise, what this community was like in 2006, right after Katrina. And, you know, he gave them hope. He gave them something to cheer for. And, boy, he was a special football player.
Yes,
I always tell him this, you know, you're always tied to a team when you win a championship. And he did that in 2009. He brought you a Super Bowl title.
That's right. Well, it's going to be fun to pay attention and see him go in with this 2026 class. Mike, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and let's do this again soon.
Anytime, guys. Y'all take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Mike Detillier from down in South Louisiana in New Orleans at WWL on all things Saints, and you can tell all things LSU, and it is a treat to visit with. Brian, I've told this story many times. After the Saints win it, the season of 2009, they win it in January, February of 10 against the Colts. That next year, in New Orleans, Ole Miss was opening against Tulane, so I went down early for the Super Bowl champion to kick off the season, and they were playing Brett Favre and the Vikings in that first Thursday night game. Taylor Swift, the big half. I mean, I didn't have a clue who she was then, barely now, but go down the loudest indoor place I've ever been in my life. Never mind basketball, small basketball arenas, domes, anything. That night when Breeze came out and led them in the first ceremonial whodad of the year, getting ready to play the Vikings and Favre, again, just like an NFC championship game, loudest anything I've ever heard indoors.
I believe. Well, you know, I love the 2009 season because if you remember, the Saints lost the final 3 games of the regular season before the playoffs started, and of course they got back right and ended up winning the whole thing. But the Cowboys were their first loss of the season. They lost to the Dallas Cowboys, went on to lose 2 more games after that, and then went on to win the Super Bowl. So I was almost like UCF, where I claimed the Super Bowl that year.
You can do that.
I was like, you know, the Cowboys beat them, so technically the Cowboys really won the Super Bowl.
New Orleans that night for that Thursday night game was so fun. But, you know, Favre almost pulled off that win in that NFC championship game.
Sure
I don't
did.
think he could have gone in the Super Bowl. He was so beat up.
Yeah, you know, he was beat up at that point.
But I mean it so lovingly about him. Sometimes I'll take my shot at Brett Favre.
Sure.
But I mean this lovingly and sincere. He would have gone out there so taped up, bandaged up, and shot up, he probably would have
Such a
still
gamer.
answered the bell.
Yeah, I mean,
he would have. Mike Detillier with us on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. So fun to visit with him. Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler for the Grizzlies. A lot of Grizzlies news out today. We've been talking about it. We'll talk about it more. They're big supporters of the hometown teams, including the Tigers, and look forward to their sponsorship with them again this year. Football and basketball and everything with the hometown teams. They're part of the fabric of the community. Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, necklaces, earrings, 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood at Poplar and Perkins with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. With us next week for leaderboard updates all next week at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Since 1970, with all the great locations across the Mid-South. Sissy's, they offer a selection of diamonds, estate jewelry, and fine gifts. Official jeweler for the Memphis Grizzlies and at FedEx Forum with the floor seat lounge. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, it's trade deadline eve in Major League Baseball. There's also a lot of day baseball going on this afternoon. So let's get to a break, and when we return, we're talking baseball. That's next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake and Little Rock. They specialize in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Let's up your life with Let's.
Surprise the family with a new club car and experience the best golf cart in the industry. A new golf cart is perfect for cruising the neighborhood, enjoying yourself at the lake, turning heads on the course, and just having something reliable to use around the yard. Ladd's has you covered with new and used golf cars. The new club car Onward, available in electric or gas and a variety of colors and features. Ladd's goes beyond the green. Whitten and I-40 or online at lads.net.
Awards, styling, driving dynamics, and innovative technology is what you'll find in your new Mitsubishi from Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Looking for a deal on your next ride? We Gossett. 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, car and driver's best with 39 combined MPG, 15,675. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, 28,480 or $399 per month. And 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV plug-in hybrid with combined range of 420 miles. Better warranty, more electric range on full charge than a Mazda CX-90 or Toyota RAV4. PHEV, now $39,115 or $349 a month. Plus, get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi. 1870 Covington Pike, online, memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett and Gossett Motor Cars.
Ford SU 006-6180, MSRP 28,980, PHEV, SE 007-1730, MSRP 42,615, Mirage, RH 03-7309, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got just a couple more minutes left in this hour. We're going to talk some Major League Baseball. We'll talk more trade deadline stuff later, probably about 5:30 or so when we have some time. But we've had a lot of afternoon baseball today. Some games still going on, but a lot of totals out there, including in the Cardinals division. Cubs all over the Brewers, 10-3 the final in that one. Been a fun series, a series that the Brewers have really dominated up until today when the Cubs able to bounce back and get a much-needed win. We just had a game that went to extra innings. Royals win it with a walk-off 1-0 over the Braves in 10 innings. So some fun games today. The Astros and the Nationals. Astros win that one 9-1. Mackenzie Gore, he's a name that's starting to pop up around Major League Baseball as a hot commodity at the trade deadline, but he did not have today. Kind of got taken out early there in that one. So some fun results today, and obviously a lot of eyes on what could happen over these next 24 hours.
Yeah, good win for the Cubs if they're going to hang on. They've got a big lead. A lot of difference between being 1 out and 3 out. You know, that about 1 out of the 3 is really all they wanted on the road. I'm sure they got games left at Wrigley. I want to clear up one thing from visiting. I had so much fun visiting with Mike Tillier. 3 Heisman Trophy winners, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, and Billy Cannon. Yeah. So if you have those 3, and he had Tyrann Mathieu on his Mount Rushmore, you couldn't argue with that.
No, that's pretty good Mount Rushmore. I don't know if anybody could argue with that.
And when you got down just to the love of especially the 3 modern era players, Honey Badger, Daniels, and Burrow, and that, that's what you have to have. I talk about us old folks are getting cycled out at St. Louis, and you got to keep younger fans They are beloved. Burrow is a guide in at LSU.
Oh, yeah.
And Daniels and Honey Badger not far from that. And then for the older ones in nostalgia, you have Billy Cannon.
Definitely.
But you got to remember Jaden Daniels because he was something.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, I was about to say, that quarterback play has been really good for LSU
Has been.
recently, and we'll see if Garrett Nussmeier can continue that.
What if he won a Heisman this year?
Well, that'd be something. Speaking of Nussmeier, and he wins a Heisman this year, Saints probably already got good eyes on him. He's going to have even closer eyes on him.
Got his dad there.
That's right. So that would be that'd definitely be big if he could do it. And,
I think his dad had a tour of duty as a player with the Saints.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, maybe like father, like son, get him in there, and because I don't know about we talked with Mike about this quarterback room. I don't know how much faith I have in the current quarterback room in New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know if they've got their future there or not. We'll see. Yeah, 2 years with the Saints, Doug Nussmeier.
Okay, all right.
Only 5 games, but I knew he played a cup of coffee.
Rock the jersey, so maybe Garrett will be doing the same here in a year or so.
Difference between being a Saint from Idaho and being a Saint from LSU.
Well, yeah, big difference. Big difference for sure. But we got to wrap up this first hour, get to a break. When we come back, talking a whole lot of golf. John Goen from Timber Trust, he'll join us next. We'll talk some golf. We'll make our weekly picks. That's next on Sports Time.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise East on Poplar were recently voted the best breakfast restaurants in Memphis by a guy on the internet. This was a rave review. He rhapsodized about the signature square biscuits, the huge selection of delicious foods, the friendliness of the staff, and how fast and fresh his breakfast was at both Sunrise locations. It was the kind of unsolicited post that businesses love to see. Okay, it was written by me. I posted it. That doesn't make it any less true. You can't do better than Sunrise.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
It's time to get loud, y'all. The FedEx St. Jude Championship kicks off August 6th through 10th. Don't miss your chance to watch the competition unfold as the PGA Tour's top 70 players take on TPC Southwind. Experience unmatched energy, fun fan activities at every corner, delicious Memphis bites, and much more. Get your front row seat to all the drama. Tickets are on sale now at FedExChampionship.com. Kids 15 and under get in free with a ticketed adult.
Since 1948, in the Alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar-based. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef. And she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's finally moving a little bit better over here on 240. We had that earlier crash up by Sam Cooper. Now it's building through Midtown with a little bit more volume on 240 South and South Parkway. Watching it increase also on the I-40 bridge headed over into Crittenden County towards West Memphis. If you want a greener, more weed-free lawn, call Lawn Solutions here in Memphis. That number, it's easy. It's 867-5626. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden, weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some golf. Joining us now, John Goen from Timber Trust. He joins us every week, talk some golf, and make some picks. John, good afternoon. How are things over at Timber Trust?
Good afternoon, guys. Things are warm and things are dry. So we're definitely in our little drought stretch here, but it sounds like that and talking with a bunch of different fellas throughout even, the Southeast region, everybody's kind of experiencing a lot of the same stuff. So other than that, things are good. No complaints. Just looks like I'm ready for this little cold front that's supposed to kind of push on through to make it, mid to upper 80s by the weekend and go from there.
It'll feel good when it blows through. It looks like it's going to return to being pretty steamy next week for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. But John, we always hit these dry stretches. Might even be prolonged, but hadn't been a lot of rain. I would imagine you just get the ball moving now in the middle of the fairway. You can really kind of lie to yourself about how far you're hitting the driver right now, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, you're definitely gaining.
It feels good. It's a mental game, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're definitely hitting it, I would say at least 10 yards further right now with as kind of droughty as we are fairway-wise. So definitely helps, your driving distance and shorten up the golf course a little bit and maybe even makes it a little bit more enjoyable for everybody. So never a bad thing in that regard.
For sure, it's not. Now, next week, are you going to be out at the tournament a lot?
So Christine and I are definitely talking about going one day, I think maybe Saturday. Actually was out at Southwind yesterday, rode around with Nick Bazan's superintendent. Nick invited me out to just kind of drive around and take a look at things and see the changes and talk about kind of what he's doing and the process they went through and everything. And so it was great. I was out there, like I said, for like 2 hours or so and really kind of got to see the golf course and how things are. So, should be a great week.
I know everything's kind of, put in as pretty new, but do they simulate shots? Do they practice shots from various areas to see how greens would be receptive and maybe some of the landing areas? I know it won't be the first shot hit next week, but how much of that do they kind of do a test run of things?
It will be based off of what I saw yesterday. There's not
really?
a cup cut. There's not a cup cut on a green, and there's not a divot in a fairway.
Not one. Wow.
Not one.
New golf course.
That is a rare sight nowadays, fellas. Yeah. So, I mean, this is where the tour uses the shot length data, right? They use shot length data to really to really provide what needs to happen and where they need to, add a bunker or take a bunker out or do this or do that. So, that's what they've done. I mean, there's not a lot of change to a lot of greens. There's a couple of subtle ones here and there. Nick's definitely kind of changed up some of the kind of roll-off areas, kind of expanding them out in certain spots. They've rerouted some cart paths, which isn't major from a golfer perspective, but used to be that the cart path on number 6 was a pretty sharp, kind of turn, or 7, I should say, was a pretty sharp turn going in, and it now actually goes around. You'll come into that tee box now from the right-hand side for the members of the cart path, which is a pretty substantial change. They also made the change on 6 with some cart path routing and stuff like that. That just seems to make more sense. Definitely kind of cut down on the number of overall tee boxes. Definitely expanded the member tee on number 4, which was long overdue, needed. Couldn't you really utilize that tee box at all much in the wintertime, just because of just play and a lot of shade issues, stuff like that. So, but greens-wise, like I said, just not a lot of major changes, just some subtle things here and there. And then, just like I said, too, your roll-off areas and things along those lines are expanded out a little bit more. So, they're going down on some heights today with both fairways and approaches and collars. So, he's just tightening things up over the span of the next few days. It sounds like they're going to probably try to cut rough on Thursday and Friday and just kind of see where they can get to there. The rough is rough, fellas. I can tell you that. It's 3 inches, and it is not holding a golf ball above the surface much at all.
Straight to the bottom.
It's going to be very bounce dependent. You can throw a few in there and they might pop up a little bit, but the majority of the ones we were throwing in rough yesterday just sink to the bottom.
Yeah, and that's the test we want, isn't it? I think it's the test we want. John, you mentioned where to maybe put in, take out a bunker. That is debated at every course everywhere for you, for anybody in the business, because with more bunkers comes a lot more work for staff, doesn't it?
Sure. Yeah. No. Absolutely. And heck, I've got at least 5 bunkers at Timber Trust that I seriously entertain taking out, just because of one. I mean, whether they historically would hold moisture too much. Which are you going to have to rip the thing apart and redo the drainage in the bottom of it, or things along those lines, or they just don't make sense. A lot of the time, there's a right-hand side bunker on 1 at Timber Trust that, doesn't make a lot of sense. Shrinking the bunker on the green at 3, probably definitely taking out one of the bunkers on 6, the one on 13. There's one on the left-hand side of 15, that I think we could take out and nobody would ever miss it. Those types of things. Now, granted, I don't have shot length to be able to really utilize that to say, hey, players hit it here or there.
Yeah.
And realistically, too, shot length mainly there is much more fairway-related bunkers than anything. I think is really what they look at. Just, hey, this hole's maybe gotten too easy, so do we need to put something out there? You get a lot of guys missing it to one side of the fairway or the other. We're going to put a bunker in here to make that adjustment. The other pretty substantial change that I thought was just made sense is, the tee box on hole number 2 is on the left-hand side now. So it's not a severe, real sharp, forced dogleg right. It's back a little bit.
Okay.
And then the tee box on 11 now is not wide. It runs more traditional, lengthwise, kind of, I guess that's what, east to west on that hole.
Yeah.
And they added a little bit of yardage there too, so they can stretch that hole out to 170 or so yards now into that green. On hole number 11. They took out the back bunker on the right on 11 and expanded that green out just a little bit there.
That's 4 putt country.
11's going to. Pardon me.
That's four putts country then.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, you're definitely still looking much more center of the green on that hole than you ever have before. But those were the really big, tee changes that I saw from the tournament's perspective. I didn't even realize they had kind of done some stuff with 3 a couple of years ago, making that adjustment there. But yeah, no, tees just make a lot more sense now. That there's not multiples on a lot of holes. 17's another good one. I like the change that they made there. So, should be a good week. Obviously very curious to kind of see what the feedback's going to be. He's really got his hands full, though, just trying to – greens are 12 weeks old, and now you're going to push him into a, major tournament and really have to perform up to expectations. He's walking a really fine line to do that. But, I think he's right on track with what he wants to do. It's just, next week's going to be extremely interesting to kind of see how the golf course handles, everything, especially greens-wise, 12 weeks in.
John, I want you and Bryant to remember this as the year goes on in college football and in the NFL. Y'all will both be texting me when it happens. I'm convinced that deep snapping, holding is the best it's ever been in football at college, at FBS, particularly the better conferences, and in the NFL. It's just automatic. Snap, hold. I don't know about the kick, but snap and hold. You just never see anybody airmailing the punter anymore. You used to get that occasionally. So y'all remember that first time it happened. It'll happen to Ole Miss, and y'all will be texting me. But here's another thing. It never happens anymore.
Opening weekend.
Well, I would prefer it against Georgia State than I had against LSU. But here's another thing. There's no bad greenside bunker players anymore on the PGA Tour. There's not one. They're all great.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just the consistency of the conditions on a week in, week out basis. If you go back, Bryson DeChambeau, 2 months ago was put something out on his social media about the biggest difference is the condition the putting surfaces are where he plays versus where like a public golf course is at. Putts that he would normally see go in on the caliber of golf courses they're playing either on LIV or on the PGA Tour are that much truer, that much better, that much more consistent than they are on your typical golf course from the standpoint of, he's making more putts because of that as opposed to the average golfer that is, maybe not making as many putts that could be ultimately pinned back on, the quality of the roll on the green. So, you talk about bunkers are the exact same way. I distinctly remember conversations of, we're out there measuring depths, 4 inches in the bottom, 2 inches on the faces, having those types of conversations just to make sure that, that the depths in each one of the bunkers is the exact same so that these guys are not getting blindsided by too much sand being raked into the bottoms of them or too much sand being raked up into the faces of them and the balls plugging in the face of the bunker as opposed to, hitting and then rolling out to the bottom. That's the main goal so many times with the conditions of the tour bunkers is, they don't like seeing the ball plugging in the face. They would rather see the ball. If it's going to hit in the face, that's fine. They want to see that ball, though, roll into the bottom so that the player has the opportunity to be able to play the shot as opposed to, having to, manufacture something with a plugged lie in a bunker.
Talking to John Goen, he joins us every Wednesday to talk some golf. We'll get to our weekly picks here in a little bit. But going back to last week, really impressive what Kurt Kitayama did over the weekend. Round 3, a 60. Round 4, a 65. He gets the win. His brother's on the bag. It's just such a great story. And then the fact that, he's able to go home with a little over 1.5. It's just a really great weekend for Kurt Kitayama. What did you make of his performance? And we'll see him again this weekend, John.
Oh my God! The funny part is I'm pretty much ready for this every week.
What are you talking? I just asked about Kurt Kitayama, John. I don't know.
John, on Monday he was playing for a compliment from me and Landon for being in second place.
Practically on his knees begging
second
for
place.
us to compliment him.
All but a banner.
I just asked about Kurt Kitayama. I don't know where all this is coming from.
You are so giddy right now. It's like it's like you're going on your first date or something.
I love golf, John. What can I say?
The excitement and everything that's coming out of your voice right now is absolutely like ridiculous.
John, can I not be happy that you're on with us? I mean, I just love this segment every week.
It's how much we like you, John.
Right.
Oh man, I tell you, it goes off the rails generally every week around this kind of 12 to 15 minute mark.
The 12-minute
mark. It turns into the crush fest. The rest of the rest of the
Shade
segment.
Central.
Oh,
we need to change the golf segment to Shade Central at
right,
4:12.
Exactly. Yep, absolutely. But yeah, Kurt Kitayama, kind of got lucky. Didn't have a couple guys kind of do something on the 18th hole. That had an opportunity to catch him, made a really bad bogey on 17, but was able to kind of bounce back and then, blows it into the right back bunker, downhill lie, hits a good shot. And then, fortunately for him, it's just a 2-putt to make par and win his second PGA Tour event. So, had a very large lead that kind of evaporated, rather quickly due to the play of a couple of different guys. But yeah, I mean, it's a great win for him at Twin Cities and against such a stellar field at the end of the day.
It was, and a good win for him, and good for Brian. I will say this, John. This is the tightest the golf picking has ever been. Any of you three can win it, and
Can we rewind back to like early May, when the conversation after the first couple of events was it's a runaway. We might as well just.
John,
how are we going to revamp this whole thing?
This has always been a forward-leaning show.
That's right.
We never really dote on the past.
No,
you know that, John.
I look forward. I don't have eyes in the back of my
Landon's
head.
like running away from everything, and it's like, if he wins this one, we need to do this. Speaking of which, talk about a guy who's really cooled off. What happened to Landon after like the first month and a half of picks?
So direct shots at two of the three of them. I don't even get a shot. I'm so far behind, Brian.
I don't even have an answer for you. I don't know what happened.
It's tough picking last, isn't it?
That's right.
Landon.
It is. Well, I would say about 75% of the time when I go to make my picks, John, you've taken who I wanted right before I get it. So, and yet through all those months, I was still picking fourth. So.
And remember, next week's double, John, and I'm going to have Scotty Scheffler first. And if he wins $4 million, double at $8 million.
No, you're not going to have Scotty Scheffler first.
Great.
How dare you?
It's bold, isn't it? I know.
It's
and a week in
great
advance,
pick,
calling my shot.
It's going to be like the third time this year that he's going to win double off of Scotty Scheffler, and he's still going to be in fourth place.
No, I'll be in first after next week with Scotty Scheffler. Next week in Memphis, do you think both the national media that will be here for the playoffs and locally, do you think it would be just a barrage of questions at Keegan Bradley and his captaincy and play?
Well, I mean, obviously it's turning into that, and it's going to be really difficult for him to continue to kind of deflect this whole thing. I mean, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago with regard to, where he's at and then who's around him. And there's no way in the world that those guys are going to be on a Ryder Cup team at the end of the day. So, I think if I'm a betting man right now, I am betting that Keegan Bradley is a playing captain.
I'm with you. I think he should.
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, I think he should be. Now, they may smoke out a lot of the questions this week.
Yeah, he's even alluded to the fact that, they have encouraged him to be a playing captain, I mean, that they're picking vice captains according to that and everything else as if he is, going to be playing, and the PGA of America has supported him very strongly in that regard.
I like it. And for him, now, they have to win. I think he has to contribute, maybe get a half or maybe a point and a half as a participant, then be the winning captain. You do that, and he's already a major champion, winning the PGA championship. John, the rest of his life, endorsements and appearance fees will be set. Tuesday afternoon with the playing and winning captain, Keegan Bradley, presented by fill in the corporate sponsor here at wherever, fill that in on a Tuesday afternoon. He can write his own check.
Sure. No, absolutely.
And he's not doing it for that reason. I'm not saying that, but that's a good side event that will happen.
Right. There's benefits to everything, right? I mean, look at Paul Azinger. You can't tell me that, Paul Azinger with a book deal after winning
he wrote it a
at
long
Valhalla,
time, didn't he?
I mean, you can ride that pony as long as you want to, for crying out loud.
Get on that horse and ride it. I'm going to take Ben Griffin to start the picks this week at the win. Yeah.
Woo.
John?
Quick transition there, boys. Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, really do. You're next, John, by the way, just in case.
Thanks.
Yeah,
a lot there.
that's the shot,
right.
too.
Well, I mean, he's sitting there. I guess I will take our Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley.
I love it. Brian?
Let's see. I think I am going to go with, give me Nick Højgaard.
You're not going to go with both Højgaards, are you?
No. I will, just like you get ahead of yourself with Scotty, I will get ahead of myself. I am not taking both Højgaards, brother.
I didn't realize that Max Homa had fallen to 105 in the world.
I hadn't either.
I was scrolling through it, and I'm like, 105?
It's been the struggle bus, and then he's about to come out of it, though, I think.
Maybe.
And I hope so. I think he's good for the game and good for young people, and his Insta and his Twitter makeup helps things. Landon?
It is with great honor that I make this fourth pick, and I will be going with Harry Hall.
Harry Hall. Okay.
Great honor.
I didn't know we were playing with such formality, but I really did like the drama of it all. I thought the breaking news sounder needed to play there for a second, didn't you, Brian?
I did too.
I will go with Matt Fitzpatrick as my shock. Any two for everybody, by the way.
God, I would hope so, considering that it gets past 21 after the fourth player this week.
Yeah, it does.
I've taken him a few times this year. I'll take him again. It seems like this could be an event that he'd win. I will take Akshay Bhatia.
Yeah, love
He did Brian in.
Yeah, that was rough. I blame you for that, Brett, though. I'll never blame Akshay for that.
That really was almost. That was bad.
Sending text right when it starts around.
People know
crazy.
better than that.
Are you nuts? I'm going to go,
What about the 57 watch text that came out?
And I got zero response to it, and I thought it was apropos when a guy goes 28 on the front.
Hey, I was.
It's literally very similar to how Landon jumped out of the gates, at the beginning of the whole pick segment. It was
my friends don't even respond to me, just leave me out there twisting on
I
Saturday.
Jinx anything. I cannot jinx anything with that.
I'm at lunch with my brother, and I go, look at all my friends that I have now.
What is with this pool of me killing it in the first 3 weeks?
Well, I mean, you did.
I think I was on the
man.
golf course. I think I was on the golf course, Brett. I did see it. I apologize for that.
I think y'all all sneezed at it.
I didn't realize you were that sensitive about it, though, either.
I'm texting Rob Fisher last weekend. I get nothing back from him. I finally text him, do you have me blocked?
Do you respond to that?
He's on vacation and wanted to ignore me.
I guess that's how it goes. I'm going to go with Big Bad Bo Hostler. Give me Hoss.
Big Bo Hostler. These picks. Quite something. Landon.
That's the Wyndham for you, I guess. I'm going to go with...
there's something.
I'm going to go with Robert McIntyre.
Bobby
Mack, yeah.
Get him up there.
Mack the knife.
I love it.
Very good. John, main thing at Timber Trust right now is stay cool, but the weekend does look great. Tell our listeners how they can enjoy it, and what about the scramble tomorrow after missing last week?
We're all set for tomorrow night. Should be a lot of fun, getting everybody kind of back in the swing of things. I mean, heck, we're only a week or so away from school starting for a lot of folks. I think DeSoto actually starts tomorrow. Two-man tomorrow night. There's still some spots available. We've actually filled up the last few weeks, so you might want to call early in the day to make sure you get in tomorrow night if you're looking to play. Next big event is Boondoggle, the 16th and 17th, so the weekend after the FedEx. So it's a two-man scramble, 2-day event. You can call to sign up for that, 662-895-3530. You can look for details on social media there, both Facebook and Instagram at Timber Trust Golf Course. So that should be a lot of fun from that perspective. So, that's really about the week in a nutshell, guys. Just looking forward to this cool down and hopefully see the golf course bounce back a little bit. Maybe try to squeeze a little bit of rain out of this, but that seems to be dwindling by the day. As we were early in the week, and it was rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and now it's turned into maybe rain between Thursday and Friday or something. So, or maybe none at all. So it's extremely interesting right now, but should be a great weekend. Look forward to having everybody kind of come down, play the golf course. As we talked about earlier, definitely firm and fast conditions. Not quite as brown as the Scottish Open, but a few more days of this, and we're going to be pushing the bounds of how green the golf course really looks. So,
Well, John, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday.
All right, fellas. Thanks so much.
Thanks, John.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
John.
one.
Thank you,
Back
man.
at you. John Goen joining us every week to talk some golf, make our picks, and I'll start things out, our post-John conversation, by saying something nice. I like John's picks this week. He's got good picks. Two good guys. I like Akshay a lot.
I got to see Akshay Bhatia do it on Sunday. He shot an 81 for me, and what he did to you last Sunday.
That's true, but again,
I love the Keegan Bradley pick.
That's a good pick.
That's game, set, and match if he wins at the Wyndham.
Oh, yeah.
It would really kind of ruin the presser here for him.
That's true. Yeah. So maybe we don't want him to win, so that we can have some intrigue going into next week. And
Inbounds or out of bounds? A question maybe to ask every press conference participant next week. You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think of this as the playoffs?
I think very fair question. I think very fair. Because, I mean, now that, especially with the changes we're seeing to kind of the playoff format, and now that we're kind of asking those questions, I mean, the fact that this year we're asking the question of, will all these guys show up? Will Rory show up? You know, I think it makes it a very fair question of.
We got the A team from NBC. I don't know whether yes or no that we have live from. I think we should. I mean, I just can't imagine Fox or NBC or CBS not out at the NFL playoffs.
No, that's exactly right, and all the coverage we get for playoffs for
and that's
every
really
other
not
sport.
and that's really not a player question. That's
Sure.
more to tour management.
But I think it's a good question because it is. I mean, golf is just is so much different in terms of kind of how the playoffs play out in terms of crowning that champion. So I think it's a very fair question
But
to
it
everyone
really,
involved.
it really matters to us, and
Absolutely.
not just the local tie and the great charity aspect of it, but if you're going to have playoffs, they got to matter.
They got to. And so, yeah, I think it's a very fair question. I think it's probably something that should be asked. I think you're right. It's maybe not as much of a player's question, but I do think because we're all asking now, will players continue to show up if you don't really, need that tournament, whatever people are saying for the rest of the playoffs? I think it's a very fair question to ask.
That's the key aspect, that who's there, and why I'm sure I'm not going to berate anyone, but why drill down to the guy that's there? I mean, it'd be fair for him to go, look, it means something to me. That's why I'm sitting here.
Obviously,
I'm here.
But I also think, if we do get to next week and Rory isn't in Memphis, then I think it's even more of a bigger question of,
But we can't ask him. It's no need, again, I can't think of the right words, not badgering, it's not berating. It's no need even being inquisitive of Scotty Scheffler about Rory McIlroy, because Scotty Scheffler is there. He can only be held responsible for what he does.
That's true. And so maybe it's not really a player's question. It's a higher up question of
maybe maybe not ask that question.
But I like it. I think it's a fair question. I think
we'll
you
workshop it a little
got to
bit.
figure out who
We'll
the right
work on it.
person to ask the question to is, and that's where you got to workshop. We're gonna get to a break here in a second, but before we do that, let me remind you about Frontier Western Store, family owned and operated since 1967. Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. Check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Aerie, Dam Post, and Durango. Frontier Western Store is also your one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you are in the market for, they've got it. But if you need a new pair of jeans, you got to check out Frontier Western Store. They've got you covered with all the brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler. You'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch and check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Head down there and check out Frontier Western Store. Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk the NFL.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
The Hyundai Getaway sales event is going strong at Gossett Hyundai on the Pike, and we're ready to beat the competition with your new ride. 2025 Hyundai Elantra SEL Sport, we Gossett, $299 a month. 3.99 available for 72 months. 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5 SEL EV, 318 miles on a single charge. $320 a month. 2.99 available for 72 months. And vacation-ready 2025 Hyundai Palisade SEL now $436 a month. 0% for 60 months. Available in 90-day no payment, plus America's best 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Hyundai today, 1870 Covington Pike, online, Hyundai GossetMotorsGosset.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Elantra SU 997852, MSRP 25565. Ioniq SYO 16455, MSRP 52015. APR offer in lieu of 7500 cash rebate. Palisade SU 921930, MSRP 42395. Must finance through Hyundai Kia. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. They're on the scene of an accident out here. It's got traffic a little bit slow. Listen, it's 240 east on that ramp to Billmore Parkway going outbound. It's got traffic a little bit slow over here now where it's already heavy this time of the afternoon. 240 east getting on to 385 Billmore Parkway. Wrapping up that wreck that's been over here for a while, at least an hour on 240 east, right near Sam Cooper. That's right when you come past Walnut Grove. There's a little bit of a slowdown. If you want a greener or more weed-free lawn, call Brandon Holly at Lawn Solutions right now. That number is 867-5626, or go online to lawnsolutionsinc.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. And we talked a lot of NFL. We talked a lot of Saints earlier with Mike Detillier from WWL in New Orleans. We've got to talk the NFL as a whole now. And I've kind of been saving this, Brett. I know you are. You're not going to be running to the to your local Target or Best Buy, or I don't think we have GameStops anymore. But you're not going to be running to your nearest store that carries video games to buy the newest Madden game. But they had their rookie rankings earlier today revealed, and Cam Ward not getting a super favorable ranking. 71 overall behind Cam Scattaboo, Terry McMillan.
Not even the number one Cam?
Not even the number one Cam. Kel Williams is in front of him. Ashton Genty gets an 81. Travis Hunter gets an 84. But Cam Ward, the starter for the Tennessee Titans, gets a 71 overall. Landon, what is going on?
Landon had a tough practice yesterday, too.
He did, and Cam Ward's response to the media was fantastic. He was upfront. He was brutally honest. He was saying, we're very mid right now, but he took responsibility. He said, that's on me. It starts with me. I got to go out there. I got to play my game, get things rolling, got to form that good camaraderie with all the players. So he answered it great, but what I love about this is the fact that you look at his entire career, Cam Ward's entire career, he has been overlooked. He has not been acknowledged, and what he's done time and time again is he's had to go out there and prove he belongs and proves why he's the guy that's in the starting position. And I believe he'll do it again with the Titans.
Yeah, and look, there's going to be a lot of weeks. I said it last year about Zach Edey. There are going to be some stat lines that are going to just be atrocious, and he had a couple of them. Yeah. But most of the year, you look at the stat line for the year, okay, you can live with all that. But there was going to be those nights that you got in a real fast-paced game that his stat line was going to be, 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 fouls, and 0 block shots. You're going to have box scores from Cam Ward that's going to look like a rookie box score a lot of weeks. But you're going to see signs of hope, too.
You definitely will.
And we were talking about with Mike Detillier. Peyton Manning's rookie year, he set a rookie interception record.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So it is a steep learning curve, and I think the Titans right now are worse than the Colts when Peyton was a rookie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. So
he had Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, and I think this, it's good to see him showing that leadership already. I pulled up CBS Sports earlier, and the first headline was, Cam Ward shows leadership, and so I think that's good to have.
Okay.
But
step forward.
It is, have that leadership as a young starting quarterback. You got to have that, but you got to be able to maintain that confidence. Because you're right. We've seen some. We were just talking about Trey Lance yesterday. That was a guy that came in with a lot of excitement, a lot of hype about what he could do. First year goes out there and just that first game doesn't have it at all. Completely kills his confidence. And now we're talking about him. He's going to be the starting quarterback tomorrow night for the Chargers in the Hall of Fame game. I don't think many people had that. on draft night when he was the top pick. But, we'll see what Cam Ward can do. I think the biggest thing is keeping him upright and keeping him with some confidence and knowing that, hey, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon to get to that finish line, and we'll see if Cam Ward can do it.
And Jaden Daniels changed so many people's idea of what that rookie can do last year. 2 years ago, C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud had a little bit of regression, not a lot, but came down a little. We don't know what Jaden Daniels will or won't do. It might be even better than last year. If it is, then we are off to something. But for that rookie quarterback, and we're just asking them now, they're so expendable because the money, while big to everybody else in society, it's not that big anymore to these teams. They're throwing them in there and seeing what they have. If they don't have it, we'll get another one in a few years. Look what's happened in Nashville and all the quarterbacks they've tried to go through. Exactly Will Levis, once upon a time, was the answer.
Correct, and now he's out for the whole year with
he's not even the question.
Yeah, no.
We've had a lot of answers at quarterback for the Titans over the years.
Lynn, is there anything more 2025 than the Titans starting quarterback saying we're very mid?
I loved that response. I think that Cam accepted responsibility for all that. But to your point, him saying that his team is very mid now is
right up there with
right there.
You're right. I do not have the Madden games, but I do recognize its place in the sport and what it's done.
Oh, it's huge, and those players take it seriously when
they
see that player rating come out. It means a ton to them. So I think
everybody under what age are playing those games?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it is a very popular game. And so I think Cam Ward will have a little chip on his shoulder from that and want to prove EA wrong. Brett, we talked a little bit yesterday with Bo Marchant about the Dolphins. I was seeing some reports. Tua looked really good in practice yesterday, turnover free, was making some good plays. It's got to be this year. If it's going to be any year, it feels like, for the Dolphins as a whole, not just Tua Tagovailoa, but we know it starts with the quarterback. It starts with him.
Yeah, it could be everybody's out. It could be Mike McDaniel out. It could be Tua out. A fresh start, change of pace, shake things up for him. Sure, don't want him hurt, but I'm not saying anything that anybody that really knows. I'm not saying anything they don't already know. Tua is very high maintenance. He was at Alabama. He was one of the very few that you could almost say the legend, Coach Nick Saban, had a different set of rules for. Sure. Yeah. And the whole out with Jalen Hurts and in with him, how's that looking now?
Well, yeah. It's,
now, in that game, in for him, that it worked on the walk-off throw to Devontae Smith. It did. Got a national championship out of it, so that makes it all worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
But you thought it was going to be more than that at Alabama for Tua, and we thought it was going to be more than this so far with the Dolphins, and him having to say that he's not too good to play in preseason games. That goes with the high maintenance aspect of it. He just is.
Yeah, no, you're right. And obviously the concussions and kind of everything that kind of comes along with his health is obviously a big question, and has definitely hurt his career so far in Miami. And that's kind of the big thing of everyone's going to be watching every snap he takes from here on out, because like you said yesterday with Bo, that next concussion, that's it for him.
Yeah, that will be a horrible day. And let's hope we don't see it, that we can never have to watch that. I've decided who I want to be now out at practice this time of year. Okay. And I told you I like the kind of the offensive defensive line guy, always screaming, hollering. I want to be the guy with the boxing gloves on that's hitting at the ball in the drills. Have you noticed that guy?
Oh yeah.
I like that guy.
No, that feels like a fun job to have.
Yeah.
You're just waylaying
out there in big old George Foreman gloves and wailing away.
Feels like it'd be a workout, Yeah. They're running through there and you're just wailing away. I mean, but that would be fun. That would be really fun. I think I still would like, not much effort, just barking out, calls and said hut, every 20 seconds. So I might still be in that camp.
They have these practices, and it's something. See, it's symphonic. They've got it down.
It really is.
The timing of it, the cone set up, the area of the fields, everything is so precision. What'd you think of my comment to John about of the snap and holes now that you never see a bad one anymore?
I think you're exactly right. I mean, it's become so automatic that, I mean,
They have it so down.
I think a lot of people don't even pay attention to it anymore. Like I've been with friends where once the touchdown is scored, they change the channel, they do whatever,
One of the kick aspects gotten a little more squirrely in the pros.
But it's it feels like, for the most part, especially in the NFL, everything's so automatic now, and especially with the hold. I mean, it has become just.
But you used to get pretty often that sailed over their head snap.
Sure.
And in college, this one you would get. I won't say once a game, but pretty often the low snap. He goes down to field it, and the knee hits.
Yeah.
And you're down right there in college.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good point. But it's
and you would see benches go crazy. He's down. He's already down.
Yeah. So I mean, it's become automatic now, and you're right. I mean, you better hope you have some wood over there, and that you can knock on, so you can. You're right. It might.
Boy, if I did this,
if
I
I
stirred up the bad snap, oh man, y'all will crush me forever.
We're not even going to speak that. We don't want to speak in.
And greenside bonkers. These pros. I mean, it's boom, boom. They're in and out.
It's incredible to watch that. I mean, to see how these pros were able to get out of those bunkers and just make it look so easy.
And there's never been a bad Australian bunker player. If you're from Australia, you can play out of the bunkers.
Well, and I love it because they make it look so easy that when I'm out golfing, I'll be like, oh yeah, here we go. Let me get in here, and then it's just a nightmare. So
it is.
That's how easy they make it look, because I think I can do it, and I'm far from being able to do something like that. But let's get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Since 1948, in the Alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar-based. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
I don't think I'm a bad golfer. I know I'm a bad golfer. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors. And sometimes bad is not quite the right word. Awful, that's more like it. And when it comes to selling houses, that's a whole different story. Over the many years that I've been in the real estate business, I have refined and perfected my highly successful strategic marketing program. In golf, forget about my normal 5 strokes on the par 3. But remember the home I just closed in November with 2 offers at full list price. Okay, let's review. If you're thinking of selling, wouldn't you want an experienced player on your team to lead you to the closing table? Someone whose background is marketing and not merely putting a sign in the yard. Then remember what people often say, that when you want the job done, call who? Shell Dunn. You can reach me, Shell Dunn Rosengarten, at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. And go Tigers.
To NST, it's never just another case. It's your shot at getting life back on track. Real help, real heart. 35 years and still winning. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or go online at nstlaw.com.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number comes from Major League Baseball, and it comes from the Athletics rookie Nick Kurtz. 25 is my big number, and that's because in July, Nick Kurtz has hit 13 doubles, 11 home runs, and a triple. So if you add all that together, it totals up to 25 extra base hits. The 25 extra base hits are tied for the most by any Major League Baseball rookie in a single month in the modern era, with Detroit's Rudy York. Got anything on Rudy York?
Got nothing on old Rudy.
Well, it's probably understandable that you have nothing on Rudy York because he had 25.
Did he go to Notre Dame and play?
Well,
no, that's wrong Rudy. Wrong Rudy.
It's wrong Rudy. This Rudy had 25 extra base hits in August of 1937.
Yeah. I wasn't around in 37.
No. That's a long time ago.
Did Kurtz wrap up AL Rookie of the Year in July?
Well, that's a good question. He's got a pretty good other rookie on his team, but Jacob Wilson just hit the IL, so
sure did. A broken
forearm, I think.
Yeah.
So he's gonna miss some time with that. So he really could have, and I'm guessing he's gonna be in the lineup tonight for the Athletics. We could see him break that with an extra base hit tonight against the Mariners, and have
down
26.
goes Rudy.
Extra base, yeah. Then down goes Rudy. That would be that'd be fun. Definitely a storyline to watch tonight.
I'm looking up Rudy York as we speak now at Baseball Ref.
Give me something on Rudy York.
Guess who I got an email back from, though, speaking of the refs?
Who?
Basketball ref.
Really?
On my suggestion of international player, American player, anybody, put up there if they were an Olympic player.
What did the response say?
Great idea. We'll start working on it.
How about that? Okay, so we can start crediting Brett Norsworthy once we start seeing that on Basketball Ref. I love it.
Man, Rudy broke in 34.
All right.
Played for Detroit, Boston, the Southsiders, and the Philadelphia A's.
All right. Philadelphia A's. I love it.
Made his debut in 34, died in 70.
R.I.P.
Rome, Georgia.
R.I.P. Rudy.
Yeah. Rudy York. Man, he looks tough.
Life well lived. I
Seven-time All-Star.
Rudy York now to see what this guy looks like.
My big number is 30. That's the Tennessee Vols win totals the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, 11, 9, and 10 last year. Josh Heupel, I think he has Tennessee back. Playoffs last year, the Nico drama, and really hard for people to get a handle on predicting them for this year on both sides of the ball. Their schedule is tough. There's not a single game on it that you look at it and go, they don't have a prayer in that game. Not one. Even Georgia, they got a chance. I think they have about 4 or 5 50-50 games. Mm-hmm. If they have 5 and you go 2 and 3, that's 9 wins. Mm-hmm. You go 3 and 2, back in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
In the 50-50 games.
Yeah, well, and that's I think we could be seeing another really good year for them. And you're right. It's there's no game on that schedule that is just chalk it up as L right now.
And Georgia's the last one. He's gotten wins over Florida. He's got the whole Bama thing. They won the last 2 times at Neyland. They hadn't won at Bryant-Denny, but not many people do win there.
Sure, yeah, I mean, it's hard, but no, I think I think that's a really good point, and it's gonna be fun to watch them this year.
Tennessee's back, and they did it without telling everybody, didn't they?
Yeah, no, I mean it was kind of under the radar a little bit, but they're back, and we can be seeing back-to-back playoff years for them, which would be really fun.
Back indeed's always our friends at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, where the summertime road trips, that's where they should start. Down in Olive Branch with Drew DePriest and his great team, 0 interest on all new Silverado 1500s. Nobody with more new Silverados than at All-Star on Highway 78, cross into Mississippi. Take Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there. And you can go big in the new Silverado HD with interest as low as 4.9. No payments for 90 days. Your good credit deserves it, and you'll get it at All-Star. The Equinox, they're flying off the lot as All-Star celebrates the last summer vacations in this month of July. All the new Equinox right there on the lot in Olive Branch, they're all selling at just $100 over invoice. Pick out the Equinox you want. See the invoice, add $100 to it, drive off. It's yours. Great deal for the rest of July. That's today and tomorrow. Check out all the certified pre-owns. Unbelievable deals from our friends at All-Star in Olive Branch, Tahoe, Silverados, the Traverse, and that Equinox. And you got to test drive the Corvette Stingray. Any vehicle you want to sell, bring it to All-Star, and they'll give you the best deal on it, even if you didn't buy it there. Head to All-Star in Olive Branch, and for more information, head to allstarautogroup.com.
Brett, you weren't kidding. Rudy York is a tough son of a gun. I mean,
just look at him.
I don't want to mess with Rudy York.
Boy, have to ask him twice to put the Dukes up, would you?
No. That's a guy I do not want to mess with right there. But,
and a catcher.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You look at him, and you can tell that's a catcher right there. But we got to wrap up this second hour, get to another break, and when we return, this is going to be a lot of fun. Brett Ciancia, you got to check out his magazine, Pick 6 Preview, the best if you want to be on top of the college football season. We're going to talk to him. He's going to join us to start hour number 3. We'll talk a ton of college football. That's next on Sports Time.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist.
If wedding bells are in your future, you need an unforgettable engagement ring from a jeweler you can trust. And that's been James Gaddis Jewelers for over 60 years. With a huge selection and the best prices, James Gaddis is a master jeweler and diamondologist. Beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis is always the right choice. Choose from rings to earrings, necklaces to bracelets, and gemstones to watches. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, online at GaddisJewelers.com and Instagram at Gaddis Jewelers. Say I do at James Gaddis Jewelers.
It's time for all fun-loving drivers to unite and take a test drive in your new Volkswagen from Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. Unleash the coolest drive of your life in 2025 Jetta Sport or 2025 Taos S. Take your pick, $349 a month. 2025 Atlas SE, $399 a month. Or take a ride on the wild side in 2024 Atlas Peak Edition or 2024 GTI SE or 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SELR line, $5,000 off MSRP. Plus 2.9 for 60 months on 2025 Atlas is available. So get to Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike, online, GossettVWMemphis.com, where we're charging forward and charging less every day.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Volkswagen.
All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles per year, 25 cents excess mileage. Jetta SMO 77145, MSRP 25916. Taos SMO 77145, MSRP 27011. Atlas SC 523770, MSRP 40741. PRC 586577, MSRP 53889. GTI RW 217191, MSRP 39523. R line RC 226135. Include all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Volkswagen Credit. Excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8225.
The very last thing anyone wants is to burden their family after passing. That's why having a trust or a will is essential. It ensures your loved ones, your spouse, children, or Anyone you care about clearly understand your wishes and don't have to deal with confusion, drama, or legal hassles while grieving. Without a will, your assets could be distributed in ways you never intended. People you care about could be left out completely. Also, probate can be a long, complicated, expensive process, and it's avoidable if you have a simple trust in place. A trust or a will sets a clear plan for how you want your estate handled. They're simple, affordable, give you peace of mind. I have a simple, revocable trust, and knowing my family won't have to go through probate brings real comfort. Trustandwill.com. They make it easy. They're the leaders in creating personalized trusts and wills to protect your legacy and loved ones. Do the right thing. Protect your family. Visit trustandwill.com today for total peace of mind.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. Fiveash Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, T-Dot. Just drug this vehicle out of the way over here at 240 eastbound at Perkins. It's been rough over here the last hour or so with several different accidents. Again, just expect heavy traffic over here for a while now on 240 East trying to get on to Bill Morris Parkway going outbound. All that traffic building out towards Collierville this time of the afternoon anyway as traffic gets heavier through Midtown on 240 South at South Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, your diamond engagement ring headquarters this bridal season. Go by and see David right now at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour. And joining us now to talk some college football, Brett Ciancia from Pick Six Previews. Make sure you go and check out his preseason magazine, the most accurate college football magazine out there. Brett, thanks so much for joining us. Getting really close to the season. I know we're all excited to see some action on the field, but you've researched all these teams. You've done the work for us. What is your favorite storyline going into this upcoming college football season?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, guys. It's best time of year here. It's magazine season, so we're getting the 14th edition of Pick Six Previews out there. We have the hard copy and the digital. And, this is really a wide-open season compared to other years. And best storyline, well, I love the whole story within the Big 12. It's wide open, probably the most wide-open conference I've ever covered. You could argue 8 different teams to win that league. And, of course, nowadays that comes with an automatic bid to the playoffs. So I think your storyline is the Big 12. Storyline at UNC with Bill Belichick taking over. That's really transcends even college football. It's just a football story. And then the quarterbacks in the SEC, I have my eye on that as a storyline. So we could go anywhere you want. Excited to break down the whole season with you.
Your magazine, how you've done it, Brett, is remarkable. I know from so many people, and we all love magazine season, but for people to regard yours as the best, that is far and wide the consideration. You've put the work in, and it shows. You should really be proud of what you've accomplished, Brett.
Hey, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Well, thank you for having me on over the years on the radio. It's been a long time. I've been coming on every summer and doing our season preview segment. So you were one of the first people on board with Pick Six Previews. So I appreciate that way back in the day. And it's exciting to see it grow and continue to get into the hands of college football fans all across the country, especially the South, where they love it the most.
But when you're endorsed by Chris Felica and Scott Van Pelt and Josh Pate, that's an all-star lineup there. Every program covered. Oh, let's start locally. Who do you see as this year's Boise State? Is it Boise State? Because here locally, we're hoping it's the University of Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, well, those are the two candidates. Last year, coming into it, of course, it was the first time where the best G5 non-AQ team would get an automatic bid. A lot of people had Liberty. I went with Boise State last year, and they went and proved me right. I think the Mountain West is the strongest conference from that tier, and I think their champion will be rewarded. So, again, here for 2025, I'm going with Boise State. They're the odds-on favorite. I don't want to overthink it. I think they're the best G5 team. I do think Memphis is a strong candidate, and I saw that they were making headlines looking for a potential Power 5 bid. So that was cool to see, and could still happen down the line. We'll see. There's a lot of resources and fan passion down there, so it could happen eventually.
What power conference do you think will have the most bids in the 12-team field come December?
I'd say the SEC, and I think most years that'll end up being true. But I think if you look at my top 20 board, my top 25, it's almost half SEC. They have almost the entire board there. It's everything. It's the best recruits every year. It's the most NFL draft picks every year. It's all coming out of the SEC. So while the Big Ten may have won the last two national titles, I still think it's the deepest conference is the SEC. So I see the SEC getting 4 bids. Right now I've got it with Texas and Alabama playing in Atlanta for the SEC title, with also Georgia getting an at-large in the bracket and LSU getting my final at-large spot in the bracket. So I see 4 from the SEC. I've got 3 Big Ten, 2 ACC, 1 Big 12, and then Boise State to round it out, and Notre Dame.
Well, a lot of people thinking it's James Franklin's turn. Jim Harbaugh finally got his. Last year, Ryan Day probably had to get his to keep everybody off his backside. It's not that hot for James Franklin at Penn State. He's had really good teams, but to win it all and to have only their 3rd national championship in the modern era, Joe Paterno with his 2, that would go a long way for him. Do you think he could get his?
Exactly, yeah. So Penn State's actually my pick to win the Big Ten, my pick to win the national title, and they're following a similar trend to the teams you just mentioned, to Michigan and Ohio State, because in those seasons that they won national titles, they had a lot of players that could have gone pro in the NFL draft that decided to opt to come back to college for a final year. They all ran it back at Ann Arbor in 2023 for Michigan, and then last year all those draft picks came back to Ohio State, and they signed some of the best transfers in the country, and they won it all. So with Penn State, I see it following a similar trend. They're very veteran. They have 2 of the best running backs in the country. 4 offensive linemen are all Big Ten. The defense reloaded again and got some draft picks to come back to State College. But my last point on Penn State is they have the 2 best coordinators, arguably, in the country, with Kotelnicki calling the offense and Jim Knowles, who just led Ohio State to a national title, calling the defense. So we'll see about James Franklin. When he has the more talented team, he's one of the best in the country. He's 34-2 as a favorite the last 3 years. It's just a matter of can he beat the top-tier teams, the Ohio State, the Notre Dames in the playoff. I think they can this year. I think it's a special opportunity for Penn State.
Our guest is Brett Ciancia from Pick Six Previews. His 2025 preview magazine is out. It's shipping now, and you need to order your copy because it is a lot of very valuable information. Your description of Penn State with the running backs and the 2 running backs and the steady quarterback play that's returning in Allard, the offensive line play, the coordinators, that sounds just like how people were describing 2 years ago Michigan with the 2 running backs, Corum and Edwards, and last year with the 2, one of them being Quinshon Judkins, that it sounds just like that. And I think at the point of attack, Brett, the Big Ten is playing more physical football than the SEC. Do you?
I wouldn't go that far. I think they're both on the same tier of physicality for sure. It's different kinds of schemes you see. In the Big Ten, they have to adapt a little because of that November winter, that weather. They really do have to run the ball more, and you have more of a fast track down in the SEC. But With Penn State, another thing, too, is in the book, my preview magazine, I have not only the high school recruiting rankings and the transfer recruiting rankings, but also a mock NFL draft number for next year, the 2026 mock NFL draft. I know it's a little early for mock drafts, but it's in there. And when you look at Penn State, they're number 2 in the country for next draft class. 12 mock draft picks are on this roster, number 2 in the country. So it's really talented, both sides of the ball. Another thing, too, is that they catch Oregon and Ohio State in somewhat of transition seasons. Those are the 2 rivals that they have right now on the same tier within the Big Ten. But they just sent a ton of draft picks to the pros. So look at Ohio State and Oregon more of in rebuilding type years. Still really strong teams, but I think you catch them in a transition year for Penn State.
Brett, it's never too early for an early mock draft. I'll take it whenever I can get it, so don't you worry about that. But you mentioned the quarterbacks in the SEC. Brett and I have talked about that a lot, especially leading into SEC Media Days. How would you rank the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the SEC this year?
Yeah, well, it's a really deep conference, and it's funny. I put an All-American team in the book and an All-SEC team in the book, but, first team, second team, third team. I had to cram a 4th quarterback in there. I just made it up. I just threw 2 quarterbacks on there. There's so many. Some guys I considered, I have in here Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. He's a returning starter, put up a lot of yards and points last year. Arch Manning, he's got some starts last year at Texas, now taking over my favorite to win the league at Texas, and there's going to be 5-star talent all around him, so I've got him in there. Lenora Sellers, the dual threat at South Carolina, he really dazzled last year. Running the ball, throwing the ball. He's going to do it all again this year. And then a wild card, I have John Mateer at Oklahoma. He's coming over from Washington State where he put up a ton of stats. And, again, another dual threat guy. He looks a little bit like Baker Mayfield did at Oklahoma with the headband and the towel and everything and the swag and everything. He can run the ball and throw it. So that's 4 guys there, but you could pick another 5 or 6 that could all contend. It's just that they're new starters. I mean, Austin Simmons at Ole Miss, I know he's going to get a lot of points and yards in that offense. Lane Kiffin always is lighting up the scoreboard. And another name I'll throw at you, DJ Lagway at Florida, where when he was on the field last year, they were a top 10 offense. Without him, they were bottom 10 in my numbers. So they get him back. Hopefully he's healthy. I saw some rumors about an injury, but I think he's healthy. And he's going to be excellent for them this year in Florida.
At SEC Media Days, we did our SEC roundtable, and we had Pat Smith from Jocks. I know you've been on his show, and we had Richard Cross from Sports Talk Mississippi on, and it came up about who we thought would be the number 1 quarterback. And I took John Mateer, and then last night I saw that Chris Doering did that on a panel show on SEC Network. So between your confirmation of him and Doering last night, I feel better about my pick from 2 weeks ago,
yeah.
Brett.
There you go. Well, Doering, I was on the radio with him this morning. He actually called for Mateer not only to win the All-SEC, but he picked him for the Heisman. So that's a roulette chip there, probably 35-1 odds, but I like it. I like the take there. It was a great conversation with him.
See, I feel better already, Brian. That day it kind of stunned y'all when I went Mateer, and now Chris Doering. I love Chris Doering.
Yeah. That's a really good pick. Can't get mad at that, especially with that type of backing. Obviously, a lot of teams in this area, Memphis, but I want to talk about Tennessee first. You look at kind of what this whole offseason was. Nico Iamaleava going to UCLA. You almost had a trade there. Joey Aguilar leaves from UCLA to go to Tennessee. How do you view the Volunteers this season, obviously coming off that playoff appearance last year? What do you think of Tennessee?
Yeah, well, excellent season last year. I was impressed with them, and they certainly deserved a playoff spot. They just ran into an NFL machine there with Ohio State, but really a great step forward for their program, I think, last year. Now, I had some questions coming into this offseason. It's funny, I thought the storyline for Tennessee was going to be the offensive line, replacing 4 starters. I thought the other storyline would be, can they unlock some vertical passing, where they used to have it in the Heupel offense, kind of went away. That's where I was at with Tennessee, and then all of a sudden this Nico drama hits in April, and I got to delete half the page of the preview magazine and restart. But needless to say, there's a lot of questions on their offense. You're starting over at quarterback. You lose your all-SEC running back. All 3 receivers are gone. 4 linemen are gone. So you're really just trying to start over. They hired a great analyst and coordinator to help modernize the passing, get that back to where it was 2 or 3 years ago. No questions at all on defense. I love their defense. They're packing my all-SEC team with candidates there. Should remain stout, even with the loss of James Pierce to the pros. I think you have one of the best defenses in the country at Tennessee, and that's why I still have them in my national top 20. It's just a lot of questions on offense.
Did you take the bait again on Texas A&M like I do annually?
Well, I see SEC Mike over there. He calls them Texas 8-4 because every year they tend to disappoint you. But I got them 5th in the SEC, and that's right on the fringe of being a playoff candidate. I think that they have a favorable schedule draw. I like that it's the second year under Mike Elko. And, yeah, they're strong in a lot of spots. I like their lines of scrimmage, especially that offensive line with 5 starters back. A couple are drawing NFL grades for the mock next year. Le'Veon Moss at running back. So as I'm talking myself into it again here live, it sounds like a good package they have there. I think they're going to be a solid team. Now, it's really a swing game when they go and play Notre Dame. That's going to really decide their shot as a playoff contender or not, because we'll see if the SEC gets 4. They probably won't get 5 in the bracket. So you're going to need to clean up and win that non-conference game against Notre Dame.
And, Brett, that 4 or 5 debate, that will be settled with those non-conference games. And I've talked about, I know how tribal we get in the SEC, and everybody, either real or perceived, thinks they know everything about the other teams now. And I do think this is the smartest era of fandom ever, thanks to great publications like yours, Brett. I mean, the fan and us, everybody is so much ahead of where we used to be, especially the fans. They know these teams, but they don't want to pull for A&M at Notre Dame. They don't really want to pull for Alabama down at Tallahassee. They wouldn't mind Toledo nicking up Kentucky opening weekend. SEC fans have to unite in those non-con games, don't they?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if it comes down to one team versus another, you want your team to get the nod for that final bid, and if that means the other team in question takes a loss, might be okay. But I think for conference pride in general, yeah, that's important. Some other games there, LSU Clemson in the opener. That's between 2 teams in my playoff bracket projected. Auburn Baylor, kind of a middle tier matchup amongst both leagues, but that's a good indicator. You can go right down the list. There's so many of these, but I think it's important for college football to continue these Power 4 matchups, home and home, have them on campus, because it gives fans something new to watch, a new location to travel to. And, I want to continue to see it. I like that the SEC continues to challenge themselves. You saw at Big Ten Media Days, Indiana and other teams were saying they don't want to schedule tough teams out of conference anymore. And then meanwhile, you get Texas and Alabama at the podium, and they're saying, bring on all challengers. Bring it on. We want our fans and players to experience the best of college football. So I like that approach better. I like these marquee matchups.
Yeah. Speaking of non-conference games in the SEC, Arkansas will be coming here to Memphis to take on the Tigers. When you look at this Arkansas team, Sam Pittman kind of enters the season on the hot seat. What type of year do they have to have for him to remain the head coach at Arkansas, and what do you expect from the Razorbacks?
Well, I think definitely bowl season. It's going to be tough to miss bowl season and have to come back. But what's happening in Arkansas is interesting. They really rely on the portal a lot, but they're losing a lot of their starters to the portal too. It's I don't think that they're backfilling at a quick enough pace. I don't think they're replacing it with the same caliber of player. I mean, you look at half their team, like it's transferred to Ole Miss last offseason and this offseason again. Keeps happening. So I'm a little worried with them. I think I have them projected down at 13th in the SEC. That is still good for top 40 nationally. Shows you how deep this conference is, but I don't see them contending for a league title this year. There's just way too much roster turnover, and I don't think that they replaced with the same caliber of player that they lost in the transfer portal.
Our great guest is Brett Ciancia on Twitter at Pick 6 Previews. He's a Heisman voter on the All-American Committee, Football Writers Association member, and his college football preview's been named number 1 most accurate 2014 through 2024. He sets the gold standard for sure. There's one thing you do every year on Twitter, Brett, that I just love. I vote on every single one of them, and we often bring it up as a topic of discussion. We always give you credit. You'll just list, are they a blue blood or not? Yes or no to vote. I vote in every single one of them. With that, I'm going to reverse it. I want you to vote. And never mind what they're going to do this year, just to date, to right now. Penn State, blue blood or not?
No.
See, I always vote yes.
It's a tough one. I'll say this about the blue blood poll. It's interesting. It's great Twitter conversation in January and February when it's a little bit of a lull. Fans get really pumped up about it. I think it's cool, because when you explain the term blue blood, you get a million different definitions. I think we polled this year 200,000 voters, and you're probably going to find 200,000 different answers of what that means. And that's the beauty of it. So I give it a simple question. I say, is this team a blue blood? Yes or no? There's no gray area. You got to pick yes or no. And, I've been doing it now 6 years, this poll series, and it's the same 8 teams every year. So it almost transcends the year-to-year results. They keep voting the same 8 every year.
I'm going to ask you another one. Florida, yes or no, in your opinion?
I would say no for Florida, too.
I vote yes. I'm too nice to all these programs.
Now, it's I'm a younger generation guy, and I think during my lifetime, Florida has been very dominant. But I think when you talk blue blood, it seems to have like an older meaning to it. But I'll give you one that I go against the crowd on is Florida State, and you won't see them at the top of the all-time wins charts or even the last 100 years wins charts, because they started that program so recently. It's a younger school. It's a younger program.
It was a girls' school for so long.
Right. So I try and go with Florida State on win percentage, because they played a lot less games than, say, Michigan, who was racking up these wins in the 1870s against the YMCA. So with Florida State, I think what they've done in their shorter time, they had such a nice run in the 80s and 90s. They got, again, back to the pinnacle in 2013 with Jameis Winston. So they've won national titles in multiple generations. I think it's a solid pick, and they they have a different criteria than the other ones.
That's a really good one. I saw we were talking about your college football playoffs. You have Alabama in there, obviously a big year down there. Hard to replace Nick Saban, but it didn't go as well as I think Alabama fans would have liked it to last season. You expect to bounce back from Alabama. What do you make of what's going on right now in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, well, it's always tough to replace the legend, and they took some lumps last year. And actually, I was down in Tuscaloosa for the game against Georgia last year, and that was, of course, Alabama jumped out to a big lead. Georgia made that big comeback, and then Ryan Williams from Alabama had the play of the year, one of the plays of the year, to win it. And at that point, I think you would have guessed that Milroe had won the Heisman and that they would be playing for a national championship the way they looked. But it really fell apart there in November, taking some bad losses. The loss at Oklahoma really hurt. But I think a lot of that is transitional. It was a big coaching change. So this time around, I think you're in for a much improved Alabama team. You bring in a great offensive coordinator with Ryan Grubb coming in, and those two, him and DeBoer, were great everywhere they've been. And then on defense, this is what caught my eye, is that you watch the NFL draft every year. You see, 12, 13, 14 Alabama players every year. It's like a conveyor belt of Bama players, but not so much last time, only 5 guys. And I think that's because they're all back in Tuscaloosa. A lot of guys that could have gone pro in the mid to late rounds, they're all back in Tuscaloosa, especially on defense. So a ton of All-American candidates, a ton of All-SEC guys. And they're actually number 1 in the 2026 mock draft. I told you Penn State was number 2. Bama's number 1. So this team is super talented. I've got them playing Texas and Atlanta for the SEC title, and I've got the number 4 nationally. So I think a big bounce back coming.
What are some of your road trips you have planned for this year, Brett, and where have you not been that you really have circled at the top of a college football bucket list?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, where I'm located, it's up in Pennsylvania, so I'm kind of in a dead zone of college football. Penn State is here. That's pretty much it. So I want to see more of the SEC. That was actually my first SEC game I've ever been to, was Tuscaloosa last year. So after seeing the passion there, and it was unmatched. I've never seen anything like it. So I want to get back down to the South. Going to try and pick a stadium or 2 every year. The one I do have booked is a little bit different. I'm going out to Lubbock, Texas this year, West Texas. I want to see this program once and for all. This year, I'm not sure if you've seen, but they put all their oil money behind this transfer class, a number 1 transfer class in the country. Stadium renovations, they're picked to maybe win the Big 12. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to see Texas Tech play, and then I'm going to see a Friday Night Lights game down there at Odessa Permian, based off from the Friday Night Lights movie. So interesting road trip we're going to do there, a Friday-Saturday combo in West Texas.
That would be really fun. Well, Brett, as always, we love having you on, love getting you on to talk. Before we let you go, tell people where they can go and order the magazine and get it. I know you said you have it both print and digital. Where can people find that?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me and for talking about the magazine. It's pick6previews.com. That's all spelled out, Pick6 Previews. On Twitter, it's Pick Six Previews as well. We have the digital copy available for download. We have the hard copy magazine. If you buy the hard copy, we also give you the digital. That way, for those 3 days where it's in shipping, you have access right away. And then lastly, we do have an in-season feature called Pick Six Plus, where it's all the stats and information that you like from Pick Six, but coming every Tuesday in the fall. So you can get your game projections and your picks ready for the next week. So all that is on the site. We've got samples and testimonials on there.
Brett, thanks so much for joining us, and we definitely got to do this again soon.
Oh, of course. Anytime, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you so much. You can hear the passion in his voice. I think it comes with being Brett, don't you?
I think so. I think just it's a Brett thing. You love college football.
It just means more to Brett.
You can tell. I mean, you can tell he loves it. And his publication, I think people know who I'm talking about. I don't want to run anybody down. We get information from all of them. We love them all. His is the best, though. And as a friend of mine said, he goes, here's the difference. It's very readable. It's very relatable. And it's not in Egyptian hieroglyphics portending the future in 20,000 A.D.
Well, that is very true. He makes it easy to get that information, and it's just so good to read. So, yeah, make sure you go out there and get you a copy of it, because we are getting really close. I mean, I saw everyone posting a month from today. It will be week 1. We'll already have week 0 behind us, and we'll be watching the Tigers and Chattanooga and Ole Miss and Georgia State. So it's right around the corner. So make sure you go and get that. And I love the fact that you order the physical copy, you get the digital copy with it. I mean, that's how everything should be, I think.
Yeah, no college football fan needs to be left hanging for information.
No.
You get it digitally right then while the post office is doing its thing.
That's beautiful. You gotta love that. So love having Brett on. Make sure you go check out Pick Six Previews.
Brian, I really believe on those blue blood votes. I don't think Brett and I agree on a single one. I would have voted down on FSU.
I saw you with the thumb down
but
on Florida State.
3 national titles. Penn State just 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think
and that winning percentage is a great notation.
I thought he brought up some really good points about Florida State, and like you said, that winning percentage I thought was the best of them.
And FSU, Florida State, 3 national championships, 2 different coaches.
That's right.
Coach Bobby Bowden with 2 and Jimbo with 1.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So yeah, I think he makes a good case for Florida State being blue blood. He makes a really good.
I always vote yes on Penn State and Florida.
I would also vote yes on both those. So I think both of us are.
Can you be a blue blood and then get kicked out of blue blood status? Can you get kicked out of the club?
I think so.
See, I think once you attain it, it's like royalty. You may not. There may be bigger royalty out there.
That's true, but I mean, I think you look at some of these way back in the day, juggernauts that are now just kind of irrelevant today. Like you were calling them blue bloods then, they very clearly gotten kicked out. So,
your vote, blue blood, Nebraska.
I'd say, and this is kind of what Brett was saying about kind of an age thing. Like I'd probably say no for Nebraska.
See, I would say heck yeah.
I know, and that's a big thing of that's the generational thing. Because I mean, you think back,
it was a while ago.
It was time keeps on marching, Brett.
It does.
And I
marching right in stride with it.
And well, a little morbid, but hey, but no, I think I love when he puts those up there and gets all the reactions of who's a blue blood and who isn't. But we're going to get to a break here in a second. Before we do that, let me remind you about our great 5 o'clock sponsors, Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the new 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, the 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender. Available in multiple models to fit your needs, the Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com. Head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Well, let's get to a break, and when we return, it'll be time for What's Trending.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector. NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
He's on the line, Marty McNate over at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and he's ready to bring you back to the future with V-Dub deals that'll blow you away. What's up, McNate?
Randy, get ready to ride in 2025 Jetta Sport or 2025 TOS. Take your pick at $349 a month. 2025 Atlas SE, $399 a month. Or 2024 Atlas Peak Editions or 2024 GTI SE or 2024 Atlas CrossSport SEL R-Line. $5,000 off MSRP.
Plus 2.9 for 60 months on 2025 Atlas is available.
So come see me today, Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make of it.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still a bit heavy on 240 east from Mill Branch out to 385 getting on to Bill Morris. Parkway has really picked up with more volume headed out towards Collierville. Here's what we're seeing over here now with heavy traffic on 40 eastbound from Sycamore View Road as you make that drive out towards Fayette County. If you want a greener, more weed-free line, call Brandon Holly at Lawn Solutions here in Memphis. That number 867-5626. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant Brett with you as we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending, and what's trending right now is trade deadline right around the corner. Deals are starting to be made, but we did talk earlier about the Cardinals in particular. We talked about Katie Wu, who covers the Cardinals for The Athletics, friend of the morning show. She did some reporting this morning about what the Cardinals could do at the deadline, saying that teams are calling on Ryan Helsley, Phil Maton and Steven Matz. She also noted that Mosaic usually waits until deadline day, till a couple hours before the deadline to start making deals, start making trades. And so maybe we see that, seeing some deals more tomorrow, later tonight. But it looks like teams are calling, and the Cardinals could be pretty active around this deadline with some pitchers.
Are you averse to trading in the division? Let's be clear. Helsley to the Cubs.
No, I don't. I'm not.
Doesn't bother me at all.
It doesn't bother me.
Get a good return, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all, to me, depends on what you're getting back. You could trade to whoever you want. As long as you're getting something back in return, then that's all that matters to me. And I think hope is that you can get something pretty good for Helsley. Seeing some of these trades that have already been made today, I think you're seeing some interesting trades being made. I know the Mets had a trade earlier that I thought was gave up a little too much by the Mets to go out and get a relief pitcher from the Giants. So Helsley, a guy that hasn't had his best season this year, but is still widely regarded as one of the best bullpen arms at the deadline. I think the hope is to get something really good in return.
That's kind of surrender for the Giants, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it feels like trade sell. And I saw some reporting done after that trade that was kind of the sign, and that now a lot of guys, including Justin Verlander, could be viewed as available guys at the deadline. So
you know who a lot of teams are really positioning themselves to try to get is Tommy Pham.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know why, but I guess
he's kind of little Mr. October. He gets traded every year around this time, and the team he's on is in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that is true. But man, I wouldn't want Tommy Pham on my team.
I wouldn't either.
I would. It's already happened, but I'd pass on that.
Any Cardinal being rumored to be dealt that you will really miss, that one will sting.
Not really, no.
None for me.
I don't think. Certainly none of these arms. And
I like what is kind of promised from Maton, and I thought maybe deal Helsley and make him the closer.
Yeah.
Might not be many games to close the rest of the way, but who will be the guy in the ninth to hand the ball to if Helsley and Maton get dealt?
That's a great question.
Might be Joe Romero if he's still around.
Could be if he doesn't get traded.
And I think he's quietly out there. Arenado looks like he might be going to Houston, but we've been hearing that since last November.
Yeah, I mean, it's all up to him, right? It feels like the Astros want him. Cardinals would be open to a deal, but it all comes down to, does he want to be traded to the Astros? And I guess it was, didn't want to in the offseason. Let's see if things maybe changed at the trade deadline, but that would certainly be another big piece that you would get a pretty good return for.
And he's been a good to great Cardinal, plays really hard. Going to the Hall of Fame someday. Will you think of him as a Cardinal at Hall of Fame time?
No, I will not.
What will you think of him as?
I'll think of him as Rockies.
I think I will too.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, he's been, like you say, he's been a great Cardinal. He's been, he's been really, really good. But I just, when that day comes, I will associate him with the Rockies.
I think I'm mostly like Larry Walker was a Rocky.
Sure, and
it's good Cardinal years.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that it happens with a lot of guys out there. You gotta decide who they're with, because they're with multiple teams and they're really good with multiple teams. But I definitely
kind of like Paul Goldschmidt. Thank you. You were good, but you didn't win a championship. It's not anything that meaningful. I just won't miss them that much. Do you think of Paul Goldschmidt as a Cardinal?
No.
I think of him more than Arenado, though.
Yeah, I do. But I think back to kind of what you were saying. Of
had an MVP year.
He did, but I think you associate those guys with deep playoff runs, with championships.
Have a parade down Market Street.
Being that difference maker, and it just didn't happen with either of those guys. So yeah,
and that's what they were dealt to do.
That's right. Yeah,
and so everybody's so mad at John Mozeliak, but he did make those deals.
No, he didn't. No, John Mozeliak has made some really good deals, and I think it feels like kind of a lot of these stories that are coming out around the deadline. This is the last hurrah for him. This is really the last big thing for him to do before he is out. And it feels like I've started to see kind of a lot of these stories are like, let's not forget about all the great deals that Mozeliak has made.
But the end is how it's remembered.
That's right. And so we'll see what he does tonight.
There was a
tomorrow.
book out there a few years ago with the premise of everything in life ends poorly. Well, it eventually just ends.
Yeah.
And whether it's teams or relationships or jobs or whatever, I don't believe that. I think most things end pretty well.
Yeah, I would agree. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow for the Cardinals. But deals going on all over the place in Major League Baseball. I saw something on Twitter earlier today, kind of talking about how deadlines usually play out. And this person, I think it was the account on Twitter, Cespedes Family Barbecue. He posted data that what days the most deals are made on during deadline week, and he went all the way back since 2000, and going all through deadline week, it's really a couple here, a couple there, not really much going on. And then the day before deadline day, it picks up, and then deadline day is when the big splash happens and all the deals are made. And so kind of pointing out that, you hear every single year, well, man, it feels like it's a slow trade deadline time. And, it's kind of that buildup where it's really quiet, and then we get that hit, and it feels like we're starting to get that hit right about now where deals are starting to be made, teams are starting to get active, and it feels like we could see some big moves before tomorrow evening.
I think the biggest reason for that is the expanded playoffs, and you just don't want to get viewed as being snookered.
Yeah, well, and that's a good point, and you're right. I mean, I saw today, I was looking through it. Right now, out of the 30 teams, 21 teams are in a 5.5 game radius of the playoffs. Yeah, and so it's just so many teams that can still sell that hope to themselves of, hey, we're still right there. We go on, we get hot, we win a handful of games, and we're right there. We're in the mix. And so it's a lot harder for these teams to decide, do we want to be sellers? Do we want to give up on this season?
Think how our attitudes would change with just 5 in a row for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Oh, man. It'd be huge.
How hurt is Soto? I was watching last night when it happened, and I know they X-rayed him immediately. What was the update today, Landon, on Juan Soto? I was watching live last night when the ball went off his foot.
I still haven't heard anything from him.
I haven't seen anything today either. X-ray negative, though, last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, all I heard was a foot contusion.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully nothing too terribly bad.
And they were, and Mendoza was out with him, and the trainer, and they were kind of letting him, or I think trying to get him to walk it off. I was going, take him out and take a picture of it.
Yeah, no, you need to
quit messing around.
You need to go immediately.
Like trying to loosen it up a little bit.
No. Forget all that. Like we were saying yesterday, these random games in July, let's not worry about them. Let's take him out immediately. And
fourth inning, I know, but his bats on a Tuesday night in San Diego won't matter in October.
Let's not worry about that. Let's get him in there. Let's get him checked out. Make sure everything's good, and then and so that he can be around later in the season. Yes, hopefully nothing too terribly bad with that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun deadline to see. We just had a move that was made. The Phillies are finalizing a deal to acquire closer Yohan Duran from the Minnesota Twins for 2 top prospects. Those 2 top prospects, right-handed pitcher Mick Abel, who has made some starts for the Phillies this year, and catcher Eduardo Tate are going to Minnesota for Duran, sources tell ESPN.
Full sale for the Twins.
So, it is full go for the Twins in the selling category. So it feels like some teams starting to make those decisions. We mentioned
you want it wholesale or retail over the next 24 hours for the Cardinals? A couple moves or all the moves?
I mean, I think if we mention those guys, those guys we mentioned, Maton, Helsley, Matz, throw Arenado in there, I'd be completely fine with that. I think
tear the Band-Aid off.
Yeah,
you got to do it.
No, you do, and I think that would be if they move all those guys, that would be that'd be pretty big deadline for the Cardinals. So we'll see what they do. Obviously, we're getting down to the 24 hours under 24 hours until the trade deadline. And we'll see all the moves that are made. A lot of big names still out there. We know the Diamondbacks, they announced about a week ago that they were sellers. Still have a lot of guys that they are open to moving. So it feels like a lot is going to play out between now and tomorrow afternoon. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
The very last thing anyone wants is to burden their family after passing. That's why having a trust or a will is essential. It ensures your loved ones, your spouse, children, or anyone you care about clearly understand your wishes and don't have to deal with confusion, drama, or legal hassles while grieving. Without a will, your assets could be distributed in ways you never intended. People you care about could be left out completely. Also, probate can be a long, complicated, expensive process. And it's avoidable if you have a simple trust in place. A trust or a will sets a clear plan for how you want your estate handled. They're simple, affordable, give you peace of mind. I have a simple revocable trust, and knowing my family won't have to go through probate brings real comfort. Trustandwill.com. They make it easy. They're the leaders in creating personalized trusts and wills to protect your legacy and loved ones. Do the right thing. Protect your family. Visit trustandwill.com today for total peace of mind.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood.
I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Say you stand by your man. Tell me something I don't understand.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskell.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies, and it's back to school time as well. Don't forget about Moe's. When you get back to school, call Moe's 901-606-3172. Set up all your fundraisers, all those back-to-school events. Moe's has you covered there as well. Well, Brett, what I learned today is the ACC released their preseason media polls. We still do those in some conferences, Brett. It's not gone like it is in the Big 12. We still have it. ACC put theirs out earlier today, and Clemson is ranked number 1 in the ACC. They're followed by Miami and SMU. Georgia Tech coming in at number 4. Florida State at number 7. So the media expecting a bounce-back year for the Seminoles, but down at the bottom 3, 2 of them are those old Pac-12 schools. Cal coming in at number 15, Wake Forest coming in at 16, and Stanford coming in at 17. The team Tennessee will open the season with Syracuse. They're projected to finish 12th in the ACC.
What I learned today, 6 NBA games over the next 3 years around the world. Berlin, London, Paris, Manchester, England, in the name of growing the game. You know where the NBA needs to grow the game? They need to grow it in Memphis, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Charlotte, places that have had teams, that have spent the money, that have bought the tickets, that have supported the league, but sometimes can have poor crowds. They need to make it strong here before you go halfway around the world to Nepal and Kathmandu.
Yeah, no, it is definitely interesting because, like you said, I mean, it's great to have it out there. I'm sure you're going to sell a bunch of tickets and maybe get people interested over there, but we need to be worried about what's going on, in the cities that those NBA
we need
teams
jersey
play.
sales here.
Yeah, no, it's
of the Memphis Grizzlies, not Vancouver.
Right, yeah.
Vancouver logo.
And that's a whole nother issue, Brett. But what I could have done without today, this story that came out earlier today. It's developing as the day goes on, but Gilbert Arenas was arrested and charged with running an illegal gambling business. Now, when I first saw this, when the first tweets came out, I thought this was going to be something tied in with the NBA and some of these players and kind of what's going on around sports right now. It is not that, which I guess is a good thing. It's never a good thing when someone's arrested, but Gilbert Arenas and 5 others were arrested today in Los Angeles and accused of illegally hosting big money poker games at his California home. That is according to the Department of Justice. Arenas was charged with 3 felony counts So definitely not good there. Sounds like he is being charged with running that gambling ring from September 2021 through July 2022. Sounds like some illegal things were going on at those poker events, but definitely not good news for Gilbert Arenas.
I love some of the language. It said it included a suspected high-level member of an Israeli transnational organized crime group.
Yeah.
That's fancy word salad for the Israeli mob.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but hey, just hanging out in L.A. with Gilbert Arenas playing some poker.
I could have done without this. All the pulls and tears and injuries that we're having around NFL and college football camps right now. And I think the reason why, too much usage. Football, no sport, is year-round. 10 months is way too much. We need more off time. It got Jaren Jackson for the Grizzlies, and I think it's knocking out way too many because we're playing too much ball.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of action and not a lot of time to rest and recover. A little R&R. So I think you're never going to see it change. We're only going to go to more, never less. But it is definitely an issue, and we're seeing it right now in the NFL and college football. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to St. Louis, where after last night's maybe 6 to 8 to 9,000, I can sit anywhere I want. Hot, I know, but it's not like it's a 20 under 500 team. As I said earlier, maybe, just maybe, it's more than just fan irritation at the front office. It could be a lot of factors that they're not counting in.
Yeah, it absolutely could be. How about beam me to this late night game tonight? Mariners and Athletics. We mentioned the rookie sensation Nick Kurtz that has all these extra base hits this month, tied for a record. He could break that record tonight with an extra base hit. You've got Brian Wu, who's been really good, a 2.91 ERA this season for the Mariners. On the other side, it's also reporting that Jeffrey Springs, who will be starting tonight, at least right now for the Athletics, he could be a guy that people call the A's about around the deadline.
We'll watch all the trades. We'll watch for all the injuries, unfortunately, in football. Last sleep without football in front of us until the Monday after Super Bowl 60, maybe more NBA scheduling news. The Red Hot Rangers in Southern California to play the Angels.
Yeah, it was a lot of day baseball.
The Angels are going for it.
They are going for it. Made a move today. It looks like they're going to be buyers at the deadline. But it was a lot of day games, but still some really fun games tonight. And we'll definitely keep an eye on what's going on with the trade deadline. Brett, enjoy the final night of sleep before football is here.
I will. Y'all too.
Fun. We're going to talk a lot about
football
it tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. But that's all the time we have today. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG.